This is Alex J with Let's Do Brunch. In the studio this afternoon, I'm so glad to have the lovely Cheryl Smith. Cheryl bakes cakes on TikTok. You'll all know her, I'm pretty sure. And also my good friend, one of my Superwomen team, Victoria, joins us in the studio. We're going to have a great chat this afternoon. So we are. And if you want to WhatsApp and join the conversation, the number for WhatsApp is 077 561 61456. That's 077 561 61456. Now, I went on Tuesday night or Monday night to see the Elvis movie, Epic. And I took my mum and we went to the IMAX in the Odyssey when the K-pop concert was on. And we had a great wee night. And you know what? The hairs on my arms and the back of my neck stood up when Elvis sang this song. And this is for my mum because I know she's listening. This is In the Ghetto. We'll be back just after this. What about that? In the Ghetto. Now, it was not good to wake you up on 12 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. I just love it. The hairs on my arms stood up when he started to sing that because it's live footage of him in Vegas. And there's just something about that song, and even now thinking about it. You can WhatsApp us on 077 561 61456. Get involved in the conversation. Now, hello Victoria.
Hello.
My friend, my oldest friend.
100%.
Not oldest as in eldest, but oldest as in longest. And we have as well the lovely Cheryl Smith. Do you like Cheryl Smith or just Cheryl?
Just Cheryl.
Cheryl. Everybody knows you as Cheryl Bakes.
They do.
Yes. And listen, she brought me buns. Are they for Victoria as well, or are they just for me? They're just for me, aren't they?
Look at those eyes.
They're just for me.
Definitely.
Victoria, I've got some that'll do you too. I brought you some. So can't leave one out.
She's not allowed buns. She's not allowed buns, just me. Thank you so much. They absolutely they just look divine. And I drink black tea and coffee, so I'll be grand. Because when I have guests coming in, I probably should bring milk. That's really bad for me. I actually should bring milk, so I'm so sorry I can't even offer you tea and coffee.
I drink black tea. I'm all right.
Oh, then I'll go make you black tea. That's great. And we'll get wired into these buns. I just can't wait. So Cheryl, TikTok.
Yep.
How long have you been doing this for?
2 years.
2 years.
Just 2 years. Yep.
And what propelled you to do TikTok?
During COVID, my kids were doing TikToks and TikTok dances and things like that, and teenagers, and they were doing all these dances and saying that they were going to be famous on TikTok. I just thought they were ridiculous. But they were having a blast on it, and I never really took them seriously. And one day, my friend rang me during a storm. And it was particularly bad in Carrick, and she said,
"Oh no, I know this
yes.
video because this is what directed everybody to your page." Yes.
And she said, "What's the weather like in Carrick?" I says, "Well, I'm just pulling into the driveway. I'll do you a weather report." And me jumped out of the car and did a quick weather report for her, and sent it to her. And my kids seen it, thought it was hilarious, and said, "Please, Mum, put that on TikTok." So I did, and it was 8.9 million views or something. It just went viral.
Did you see it, Victoria?
No, I haven't seen that.
So what happened was when I was sort of pursuing you to come on the show, I went back down because I have followed you for a while, and I went back under another page, and I went back down to the video. I have to find this video, and literally, is it outside your house? Just
yeah.
Her head is literally getting blown off her. She's got her hood up and she's getting totally battered. You can hardly hear a word she's saying because the wind is so strong. Like literally your head's nearly hanging off your neck.
I couldn't have been any uglier in it if I'd have tried.
I know,
it was wild looking.
It was so funny. And no, you weren't ugly at all. No, but the wind was actually beating right into her face. It was nearly like you were underwater.
I know.
And it was just constant like that. It's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. So I can understand why people then... Is that when people started to follow you?
And my son, a few of my kids are married, I'm in foster care as well, so they're all up and moving on as well as teenagers at home. Pretty busy woman. But he rang me one day and he says, "How do you do the carbonara? Could you show Katie how to do the carbonara?" And I made a wee video of it because it was just easier to do the video of doing it. And I combined the two. I combined the love of cooking and baking and the simplicity of showing people how to do it, and then the sort of the TikTok thing, and it just caught on.
And do you find, Cheryl, because I'm so intrigued by all of this, because I'm on TikTok and I make wee daft videos, and obviously for my job, both my job, this job and the other jobs that I do, I sort of have to be present and do little things, and we have to be prepared to have our videos put online. You're a lot more private person.
Yeah.
So you are, Victoria, so you're not, you don't really put stuff off. You very rarely even put like a selfie of yourself on, you know, and if you're on if she isn't a photograph, she's hiding behind someone usually. She's just not a very, you know, whereas I am a wee bit more extrovert. I don't mind so much because it is something that comes part and parcel with what we do. How do you find when you go out, like say you go into Home Bargains or B&M, do you get recognised?
I do. I do, yeah, I do a lot.
Like
but
a
I
lot?
don't mind. A lot. Even up in Rushmere. Actually, I'll tell you a story. I was walking out in Budapest one day in a shop in Budapest, and somebody went, oh, "You're Cheryl Bakes."
No way.
And I was like, "Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't mind. I love chatting.
You enjoy it?
I really don't mind.
Because you're a people person.
I do. I love it. Mum says that I was made. TikTok was made for me because as a child, I pretended to be a teacher. So I would have had pretend pupils that I was teaching, or I would have pretended to be a cook, and I pretended to cook as if I was on TV. So I've always kind of loved doing all that. So I don't care. I don't care. You'll have seen me dyeing my hair, doing things. I just don't care. I just love it, and I'll just go on as me.
And I just love the fact, we were talking about this before we went live there, but I just love the fact that it's real home cooked food. Like food, as you said, your granny would make, your mummy would make, or your auntie. I was telling you about my mother-in-law. She's sadly no longer with us, but it's very rarely you get someone who can cook and bake nowadays. I mean, because I love cooking, and people say my cooking's great, but when it comes to baking now, I've baked a wee cake and I've made but like it's just not the same as like when my mother-in-law used to do it, you know. So it's very rare to find someone who does both. So who taught you, Cheryl, or who?
My mum was a wee Belfast girl. She was 16 years of age, and she started going out with my dad, who was a country boy from Macromorn, just outside Larne. Lived in a big farm. His mother was the soda breads, the cook for all the men who used to do the fields, and, you know, just a farmer's wife, really into the cooking traditional food. And Mum got married at 16 to my dad, still married to this day. And she learnt a lot from my granny on the farm. And then we moved to Zambia, where we spent a period of time in Zambia. Where we're in school, you know, we were taught to teach. We lived in Zambia almost 4 years.
Right, okay.
Then came back again. Then we moved to Canada. So there's a lot of cooking from different influence there. And in school in Zambia, even though I was only 7 at the time, they were teaching you how to cook, you know, as well. Yeah. So there's a lot of influence, and I love food. That helps.
That definitely helps, because that's what I tell my friends too. Like, my sister wouldn't be, she would say she's not a great cook. Now, she does cook, and anything she ever makes, she does well at it, but she doesn't feel that she is a great cook. But she doesn't have the interest, because she's not really a lover of food the way that I am. I mean, I love all kinds of food, and I will try. I mean, I went to Hong Kong for the first time, and the first thing I tried was street food. You know, I went to Thailand, we tried street food. I went to Mexico and tried street food. I like to try the things before I say I don't like them. A lot of the times when I'm at home and I'm cooking, my wife will go, "No, I don't like that." I go, "But you haven't tried it." You know, and I always be surprised by that, because her mum was such a great cook. And like you, Cheryl, made all the real hearty, homemade, real bones stuff, you know, the real hearty food stuff. Yeah, the stuff that is proper, and it's not processed. It's not in a jar, and it's not, although you do some things where you go like, this is a shortcut, or this is a great wee tip for money saving and stuff like that. I've particularly loved the latest episode of the mince.
Oh yes, that was
So tell me about what you did then when you came back here and you finished school. What happened after school? What did you do, or what did you pursue as a career? Well,
I worked in a hospital I was in a hospital working in the clerical part of it, and then I went on and I was a personal assistant to a guy. I then had a baby, and when I left to have a baby, I decided I didn't want to go back to work. I wanted to stay at home and be a stay-at-home mum, because that was something I always played at too, was being a mum, dollies and prams. And that led me down having my own children. Well, actually, I had fertility issues with my first child, thought that I wouldn't have any more, and pursued fostering, and had 2 more children of my own, but continued to foster. So I think I must be into my 31st, 32nd year fostering.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Are you currently fostering?
Yes, I am.
And young, all ages?
All ages, and have been for so many years that, you know, the kids that need fostered are just the same as any other kids. They're no different. It's not the kids, it's just the situations that they've maybe been in where a little help has been needed. That's it. You know, kids are just kids.
Yeah. And it's such a thing that for someone actually to do that, because it's quite, you know, you don't know what the background of the child is coming from. You don't know what they've been through. Only obviously what you're given is the synopsis of who they are and what they're doing, but you don't know what their history is and what trauma they've been through and everything else. So I'm sure you've had children over the years with different issues and different scenarios that, you know. And I think that takes a special person to be able to, because your mum, actually.
My mum and dad fosters. Right?
Oh, do they?
Yes.
No, they're in their 70s now.
Right.
So they haven't, but yeah, they fostered. My mum had cancer very young. So there's only me and my sister, you know. And my mum decided, well,
yeah,
you know,
it's a good reason to decide.
Yeah, well, she came from a massive family, so I think if the option had been there, my mum would have had a lot more kids. But they advised that it wasn't, you know, the right thing for her, so she was just like, right, well, come on, we'll do this. And my mum and dad were able to offer an amazing home to children.
Definitely.
You know?
It's just, do you know, you say about the background. It is important, but it isn't overly important, really. You know, it really isn't. I think it's just important for the carer to be trauma aware, you know, because all behaviour is communication.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, there's certain times that I'll react to something and somebody will think, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah.
But, you know, we're reacting to things that are maybe our trigger, and kids are no different. You know, it's just being aware. You know, kids don't wake up in the morning to try and get on your wick. You know, you might think they do, but they don't.
I know they don't, but again, you know, I don't have children of my own, but, you know, I have nephews and things like that, and I've always been a mummy figure to my siblings and to my nephews, because I looked after them while my sisters went out to work full time. And over the years, you know, I've learned that, like us, because we're all human, like us, everybody needs to be handled with a little bit of care, but also everybody's different.
Yeah, very much
and so children, I always feel the children, the biggest thing for me is for a child, I look back at my own life and myself as a child, because I always come across, we're coming up to International Women's Day, and I always ask the women in my life and women around me, if you could write a letter to yourself or write a short note to yourself as a child, now looking back, what would you write to yourself? And I always put this up on International Women's Day, and I say, you know, on social media, and I always say to myself, I'll just remind you that words are only words.
Yeah.
And the bruises will heal, but the words that leave your lips will always remain in your head. So be careful about how you walk through your life and how you do treat other people. You know, because I think you can handle yourself how other people treat you, because that's not, I always tell anybody who's having any kind of problems, you know, that person's treated you badly, that's their problem. You have to understand that's not your problem, that's theirs. If someone doesn't like you, that's their problem, it's not yours. And it's hard for us sometimes to take that in. So I think with children, you always have this protection thing where I always think, you know, you just want to hug them and hold them and tell them that they're loved and tell them that, you know, everything will be okay. And life is what you make it, as opposed to what other people around you tell you it should be. And I always think of we children coming from foster care and coming up, and you hear so many horror stories, especially from when I was younger, maybe being 50, from when we were younger, you hear so many horror stories about foster homes and about, you know, adoptions and things that didn't work out. So I think it's such a lovely thing to find somebody who has successfully, you know, has been through over the years and done so many. You know, what would you advise somebody who would be thinking of being a foster parent, would you give them any kind of advice of how to go in? Not on how the progress of it, but the heart you need to go into it and the head you need to go into it with?
You need to go into it with a very open mind, but you have to be very serious about and realise. But we were talking before the mics come on about how, diet and eating and things like that there. It's about a whole life thing. I know it sounds really silly saying that about food and all, but fostering's very similar. It's a life change. It's completely different. It has to be part of your entire life. It can't be segmented or compartmented or part of your whole entire life. And I think if you're thinking about going into fostering and you're prepared, there
you go. That's Wilson Phillips, and hold on, we finished off with there. We had a little technical issues, so the broadcast seemed to switch over onto automatic playlist there. So I do apologise if you've missed the tail end of that conversation about fostering. We're going to move on now and get back to the important stuff about the food.
Always important.
About the cakes and the homemade food. I have a question to ask you, Cheryl. I watched I love the thing that you're doing at the minute with all the mints.
Oh, yes.
I love making chilies and bolognese and minced steak, carrot and onion, like all the home foods. Victoria's a vegetarian.
We're here with the wrong people because
You're more or less.
I'm a very good vegetarian and sometimes not a very good vegan. And my daughter
But
and
you're a good
son-in-law
vegetarian.
I've lifelong vegetarian.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. So
So the episodes you've been doing on the mints has been really, really great. My thing is steak pieces. Mm-hmm. Now I saw that you did it was a stew I think you made with steak pieces lately, and my thing is my steak pieces I feel either are too chewy because they're underdone or too chewy because they're overdone, and I just never know how long
they're not done long enough.
Just do them forever and like it
Do
matter.
them. You can't get it wrong. Stick them in a slow cooker. Stick them in a slow cooker until they're falling apart, and it will happen.
I tried it, but I always feel like it's just too long, and then are they chewy because they're overcooked then? So they'll just be.
It'll take a good 4 or 5 hours on a slow cooker.
Yeah, so I just haven't been cooking long enough.
Otherwise, they will be too chewy. They will go nice and soft. I don't cook my carrots in with them because I don't like the taste that the carrot will put onto the meat. I'll add carrots towards the end.
Yeah, because carrots can make a thing really, really sweet.
Like really a bit of weird taste.
Yeah, I can understand that because actually sometimes what I do is, especially if I'm making soup or like a soup, not particularly vegetable soup, but if I'm making a soup or as stew, I kind of do everything like the meat separate from even the vegetables, and then just add all that in at the end. Like I do the onions and all with the meat, obviously for the flavours, and I put my wee celery salt and all my bits and pieces in, but or celery powder, whatever it is. But you're right about the vegetables because sometimes I find the carrots, especially if you're making a soup, carrots can make it very sweet. So yeah, and I'm not partial to parsnips either.
I do like
my
it.
granny used to make the homemade soup with the parsnip, and I think do the vegetables come now? They don't come with parsnip anymore.
I don't think there's any parsnip in that anymore.
It used to be carrot, parsnip, celery, parsley, what else? Leek was all in your homemade soup when you were making. I remember my granny doing it, but she would put a wee tiny bit of parsnip in. Because she said she didn't particularly like the taste of it either if you did too much of it.
I like turnip in it too.
So
I go to the market and buy. I go to the market. There's a wee market comes on a Thursday to Carrick, and you cannot beat homemade soup with freshly cut veg. It's a game changer than the stuff in the packet.
Yeah,
the stuff in the packet will give you a bit of an orange colour to the soup,
and there's a bit of a taste.
Isn't there?
There is. You can. And it's not old veg taste, but there's
it's
that
not
bit.
It's not a fresh taste.
No.
Because I go to there's a farm shop right behind where I live, and I go to the farm shop, and they have all the vegetables there. Now it is a bit more of time consuming, painful to like sit and chop everything up. But then that's what my granny used to do. My granny used to do that, and it's the same when we. So Cheryl, you're like ourselves. I have to say, we are three ladies in the same position here. Cheryl has a beautiful home by the sea, and so does Victoria and I.
We do.
Except ours are caravans. But we are right by the sea
We are
as
right
well.
by the sea.
But so when we're down there, so we're kind of right on the beach, but literally we're in the countryside as well.
Yeah.
We're down the Ards Peninsula direction. And I love nothing better than going to the farm shops or going to the wee stands outside, because a lot of the farms and people's homes have the wee honesty boxes.
Yeah.
And I love going there, and we go and get in season now the broad beans and the peas. And nothing takes me back to being in my granny's house in front of the big fire, sitting shelling peas and broad beans. There's nothing better. Now, you have to buy double the amount that you're going to use, because you've half the meat before you get them into the pot. But there's nothing better than that for me.
No, I'm the same. But you see, that's a lot of the comments that I would get about my bacon. Memories are triggered from people going, oh my goodness, I literally remember getting that as a kid, or my granny would have made that and I didn't have the recipe. You know, there's things along those lines that people like. And I think when you said about the mince, I did that series on, a series with mince, because Home Bargains do $3.49 packet on it. It's Irish mince.
Is it low fat mince? Is it
5% low fat mince?
See, that's
and
brilliant.
it's Irish mince, traced to Irish farms. So, and for £3.49, I was showing how you could feed your family with $3.49 and some veg. Easily. And I even did a roast out of it. Did you see where I had made the mince and made it flat and rolled it up with stuffing and all? And I had added a bit of oats. I actually added a bit of oats to the mince, because it gives more of a bite. Gives more of a bite. People love that, because they love traditional, affordable, easy to make, but high taste food. And that's what Cheryl Bakes does.
And I honestly, I'm fangirling right now, because I just love your videos, like I do. And I can't, we were getting our kitchen done up there, so with a bit of work going on, so I haven't been able to when I get down to the caravan, that's when I do my cooking and my baking, because we had so much work going on at the house. But I can't wait now, 'cause it's coming up to Easter time, and I'll make wee things because I have my nephews over Easter, and I'll get down and I'll be looking and see what you making. I love it. Like, there's nothing more heartwarming than watching your videos.
Oh, thank you. Some people don't realise that you can actually go on to TikTok and you go on the search bar. So if you're on your normal For You page, you go into the search bar and you would just put in Cheryl Bakes, whatever you want, to see if I've got a recipe up there. They think they have to scroll through every single recipe, but you can just put in Cheryl Bakes biscuit, Cheryl Bakes chocolate sponge, and if I've baked it, it's going to come up.
Yes, I'm definitely going. Like I was telling you about my mother-in-law's. Sadly, she's not with us anymore to make it, but her shortbread was renowned. Like, I mean, people would come from miles and phone her up and ask her to make shortbread for them. And no matter who she gave the recipe to, even she actually gave it to a cafe in Lisburn, and because the man asked her for it, and she gave it to him. She didn't sell it to him. She gave it to him, and he just went, it still doesn't taste the same.
No.
So I do think it matters about the person making it too.
Do you think so?
I do.
Funny, there's a wee cafe over
with
near.
Love. Like your stickers on your buns say "Made with Love."
Yeah.
Cheryl, and I think that's true. I think sometimes it's the person. I have a wee message here for you, Cheryl.
Have you?
Do you know anybody in Devon?
Don't think so. Maybe.
From you know who in Devon?
Oh.
So. Cheryl is the most wonderful woman and the best friend anyone could ever have.
Oh yes, I do.
Privilege of having in their lives. Her whole family are wonderful, and I'm blessed to call her a friend. She's shown me and my kids so much kindness and support over the 10 years since we met in Bellamadina.
Yeah.
Bellamadina, do you call it?
It is Bellamadina.
Bellamadina. In Spain, especially with my health at the moment. Thank you, Cheryl, and thank you for the amazing times we've shared and your fantastic TikToks. Yes, I remember sitting round the pool with you when you first started. We were all blown away. I love you, girl. Keep on being you and being amazing and utterly brilliant. I just want the listeners to know how genuine this beautiful lady truly is, from you know who in Devon.
I do know. I
That's
do know
so
who.
lovely.
I know. Oh my goodness.
Ellie,
Is
Ellie, is it
You're going
Ellie?
to have a tear, but I might have a wee cry.
It's Ellie.
Isn't that lovely?
That is so lovely.
I just want everybody to know as well, because sometimes I meet people in my other job. I meet people who are in the limelight, and sometimes a little bit of, because they've got 50,000 followers or something. Sometimes it puts them in a position where they feel that they're a little better than other people,
Yes.
and you kind of get the feeling that they're just not. Is your phone going? You know, and I have to say, Cheryl, it's a real pleasure meeting you, because
thank
you're
you.
exactly what you're exactly how I thought you were going to be. I said to Vicky, you know, when I was saying, oh, Cheryl Bakes is coming on, and I said, you know, like, I think she'll just be just like us, you know, she's just a real girly girl, and she's just a wee natter, and you know, she's just down to earth, and that's exactly how you are, you know, and you've got a real heart for people, and that comes through in your videos.
Good.
Your heart for people. And in real life, you can see and hear that you've definitely got a real heart for people too. So I just think it's great.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so. I am. You're the only person I know how to be is me. So
well, that's true. I think the best person we can be is ourselves, because we're so, you know, so well versed to practice at it. You know, can I ask you another question about? I know that you're fostering, and that takes up a lot of your time, obviously. But you're a mum. How many? 3 of your own, or 2 of your own?
I have 3 children that I have given birth to. The rest were delivered by social workers. Some were delivered by midwives.
So the ones that were delivered by here I go again. This is typical Thursday for me. The ones that were delivered by midwives, your biological children, are they all grown up now and moved away?
Yes.
Because one of your daughters I see on your TikToks.
She has just started nursing in Queen's.
Yes.
So
I saw the video the other day. You were saying you know, how proud you were of her. And if she's anything like you, she'll be a fantastic nurse. Do you know what? It's coming naturally to her. Yes.
It really is. We were on holidays actually in Ballamadina, and there was an incident, and Jessica was off like a shot straight across the road to try and help, and stayed with the situation. And I thought, jeepers, she is exactly where she's meant to be.
It's just instinct. And yes, if she's anything like you, that'll just be her thing then. So,
and you know, she's only 23 and she's 2 children. She had one when she was 17, and he's almost 6. And she had another one, and he's 2, coming 3. So
and she's just acing
a wee young mum, on her own, and she is acing it.
So that's the thing. The reason why I was asking that was because Victoria also has grown up children, and she has been feeling lately, because we're friends and we chat, about not being useful anymore to her grown-up children, because they're so independent now, and she's not as useful to them, or she feels like she's not as useful to them. I, as a child, and you as a child, should realise, Victoria, that, you know, our parents are always very useful to us, and we're always leaning to them, no matter what the situation is.
I know, but it's that change. And I only have, I have 2, and my daughter's 25 and Noah's just turned 18, so that's my youngest. And so when Kaylee, you know, learned to drive, and you know, she's been to university and she's back in university again, but there was still Noah. And then you know, and we had that whole, she was away during COVID, but there was me and Noah, and he needed me. And I think Noel of course they'll both always need me. Noel probably always need me a wee bit more than what Kaylee does. But now he's up, and you're just a bit like, right?
I think the toughest
What's
part
my purpose now?
Toughest part about being a parent is raising the things you love the most in the world to become independent and live without you.
Yeah.
It's, you know, but they don't. They really don't.
No, well,
you know, they then have children and they need you again.
I think I think that's true. I think that's true, you know, and grandparents. Although I will tell you this, I feel my parents, now my father's passed away 10 years this year, I feel my parents were aced being grandparents. Like they're far better grandparents than they were parents.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of feel that maybe we were the trial run, and then when the grandparents came along, or is it the fact that, like when I get my nephews, you know, like we were joking yesterday and saying, no, we'll get them over Easter, fill them full of e-numbers and then send them home. You know, is it the case of that, you know, you only have them for the short period of time that you have them in that particular day or that particular period of time, and then you are sending them back home, so you make the very most of it? Is that what it is? Difference of having your own children?
I obviously don't have grandchildren, but it's really funny because Kaylee's she's studying to be a social worker, so that's what she's doing. So she came in the other day. Monday's like, I don't know, psychology, something like that. And she phoned me actually. She says, I'm just phoning up to complain about your parenting. I thought, well, there's nothing unusual.
Oh yeah, they never stop that.
But she talked about something that happened when she was a child, and she was like, Mum, that was really traumatic. I can't believe you done that. And I was like, I know. And I said, but I'll tell you what, see if you do that to my grandchildren, there'll be serious problems. Look, you do things as a parent that you think that you're doing, and then as you grow and you get older and you go, I would never do that now. My mummy would have done that to me, and then that was how it was. I mean, it was harder times, yeah. and then so I got a bit of that, but now I know better. You don't do that, you know. You don't be so hard on your kids. I was always very hard on my kids, you know, especially Keely. Life's hard. It's even harder for girls.
You've one girl, have you, or two girls?
One biological biological daughter.
So, you know, I think it must be very difficult to have girls initially, especially if you've, because I'm one of three girls, and my dad was the only male. Even our dog, growing up was a female, you know, and so my dad had a house full of women, and I think the lasting thing with me was my dad, the very first thing he did with us was he taught us how to look after ourselves. So he actually, it was tough love, but he taught us how to stand up for ourselves, and you'll be testament to that, for I was no height. No. I'm still no height, but you know, I was no age, like I was very confident in my ability to look after myself, as were you, Victoria, because you did martial arts as well.
I also think that it was the times that we grew up in as well, you know, and where we grew up. And
I think that maybe does matter, you know, maybe it does matter where you grew up. I mean, you're from Belfast, you know.
Well, no, I would be, Mum was the Belfast one, right, okay. My dad was the country man, and I too believe there's a cultural difference there, definitely.
There really is.
You know, I do think that, you know, from the different styles of parenting and all, but I was very lucky actually, you know. My dad is the easiest going, laid back, you know, nothing is a big deal really to my dad, unless you know, you push him too far, you know, then it's a big deal. But he's really easygoing, and you know, a mum, you know, who was from Belfast, but had that influence of the easier, you know, don't sweat it as much, you know, just let it go. Yeah. I think as parents, we do the best we can with what we know. Maya Angelou said this once, and you do the best we can with what we know, and when we know better, we do better.
That's exactly it.
And I think as the older we get, it's not
that's lovely. Say that again.
We do the best with what we know until we know better, and when we know better, we do better.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's really, really good.
Sums up parenting, doesn't it?
But it is.
Yeah.
And then
it's actually just
your first child's a bit of an experiment, because you're like, and you know, I've said it to Keely and
you parent how you were parented.
But also, this is the first time. This is my first time here. You know, I haven't been here before. I haven't done life before, and so I'm only doing the things that, and at the time I would never make a bad decision for my kids, so at the time I done what I thought at the time was best. Looking back on it, may it have been 3 hours later, 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever, I'd gone, that was not the right choice, that wasn't the right decision, but at the time it was made with love.
But I always say, you know, I think over the years when you look back, and as a teenager I was like, you know, with my parents, I was like, you know, they don't know me, and you know, like you felt hard done by. Yeah. But as I got older, and and I'm not a parent, but I have nearly everybody around me as a parent. Yeah. And obviously, like being so young, because both my parents worked, and I had 2 younger sisters, so I had to look after them a lot. And I think what I've come to realise, and over the years, and maybe going to a few counselling classes, has made me realise that actually, you know, you don't get a guide when you have a child, you know. And especially years ago, I mean, I know my mum will be listening. My mum had, you know, I think she was 19, you know, and then in them days, you know, there wasn't the open conversations that there are now about general life things affecting women, and because it was so consumed with you to go to work and earn money to bring money into the house, and you know, the women stayed at home to feed their husbands and their children, and that was literally all that you got. Your mummy maybe showed you how to cook food or make a stew or make soup, but you didn't get real life advice, I don't think, from your... It was only when... And my granny was great at giving good advice to me, but again, I was her grandchild, not her child. And my mum, I think, when I look back, I go, like, I was pretty hard on my mum sometimes, and I think us as children were pretty hard on my mum, because we were talking about the menopause last week, and the last few weeks, but we were talking about this and saying, you know, like, my mum really wasn't really told any information, and I remember years ago when I was a child living at home with us, we were all going, like, even my dad's going, like, she's a nutcase, you know, she's a mental case. My mum was having mad mood swings, but the poor woman didn't know what was going on with herself, you know, and she didn't have an inclination to go to the doctor and say, here, I'm flying off the handle and I could probably murder everybody in my house, you know, some night when I'm half asleep. You know, nowadays we can go to the doctor and say that because we thankfully are able to talk a little bit more openly about it, and we are a bit more upfront about it. But I just think that the conversations are different now. You know, so are we breeding different? Our children that we're breeding now and that we're honing now, are we breeding them a little different in the future? Are they going to be different with their children?
Every generation is different. I do believe, and I think that no matter what generation we come from, you know, we can look at it. Our cup is half empty or half full, and be full of gratitude or not. And I'm grateful for the way I was raised. I really am. I'm grateful for the life that I had. And would I have been a bit, you know, mad sometimes? Oh, my mum did this, or my dad did that, or that's unfair. Why did I have to come in at 10 when all my friends got to stay out? You know, as a teenager, we do grow up having gripes, but that's part of being a teenager, isn't it? And I don't think that the grandparents actually... Why does somebody keep ringing me? I don't think that it's the fact that it's the grandparents are better. I think it's just the grandparents are older. Yeah. And as you get older, you tend to be a bit wiser.
More understanding.
You've been through a lot more. You realise, you know, not to take everything personally. You know, it's not a personal attack. Yeah. Just get on with it as best you can, because that's all we're trying to do, every one of us.
See, I was lucky with my mummy, though. You know, my mum is my best friend.
Mum, so's mine.
You know, always has been, always will be, no matter what. You know, my mum's my best friend. My mum is a talker. So she did talk to us, but that would have been an unusual, you know, thing. You know, other people, I would say, even now, people wouldn't have that relationship.
I genuinely think, like, my mum, if my mum had that information herself, I'm pretty sure she would have shared it.
But then is it because my mum was the youngest of all the kids, so she had so many sisters, and there was so many of them before her. You know, that could be why it is.
It's not that my mum was a terrible... She was a terrible parent or anything. It's not that. That's my point, is that I'm saying is that she wasn't given any help or... Mm-hmm. And that's because her mum didn't pass that down to her. Yeah. Because my granny was quite a reserved woman. You know, like my granny, like now in our house, you know, we could walk around with just our bras on and not worry, you know, or even no bra on, like you and I, Vicky, are well known for that. You know, tucking them into our pockets, Cheryl. We tuck them into our pockets. With clothes on, with just no bras on.
Just no bras.
I hate that feeling. Oh, no way, my bra never comes off.
Honestly.
Oh, I hate that
feeling. I learned to wear sports bras.
I feel a wee bit inconvenienced when I have to put a bra on.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, what about when you're sleeping? Does it not go under your arm?
No.
Oh, no, I hang them off the edge of the bed. No, what I was saying was, I think if my mum had been given the information, because my granny was quite a reserved woman, but then she was the youngest. There was 12 children.
Yes.
In my granny's family. Right. I think my granny was number 13, I'm near sure. Jeepers. And she was the youngest. So I just don't think her mum had the time with her that obviously she would have had the time with all the other ones. Times are very different now as well. So I think a case of if my mum had have had all of the information herself. I mean, she didn't even know about menopause herself. She didn't know those things. So she wasn't able, she didn't have that information to pass it down to us.
Yeah.
We learnt a lot of other things from my mum. And like you, Cheryl, I'm pretty now the age I'm at, looking back, because when you're a teenager, you're just like, you know, the world's against me and
Yeah,
my parents
yeah.
hate me and my parents have no clue what they're doing. But now looking back, I'm really glad of the life lessons that
Exactly.
I was taught by. Because at the time, you know, when my mum was saying, you know, oh, you need to hoover that or iron this or do this or, you know.
See, I didn't have that.
Well,
You know,
I had that,
you-
and
I know that
my
you had
dad
that.
as well. My very first job, we were talking about this yesterday. Actually, my very first job was a month's salary was £160, and a lot of my friends, their very first salary, they got to keep it. You
Yeah.
probably were one of those people.
Of course it was.
I
they got to
didn't.
keep, but
I had to hand a third of my salary over.
no, well, my dad took £100 of that £160, right? So I never let him live that down. By the way, it was a standing
Neither have
joke.
I.
It was
Neither
a
have
standing
I.
joke. I never let him live that. But what I will say is, my head, I have a really good head for business and a good head for finance. And I think that all, and I'm pretty streetwise, and I put that all down to my parents now.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know, no, they're terrible parents. But now, like, my life, I feel I'm pretty much the person I am because of how they
We are.
put me together.
We are products of
Yes.
our
Yeah.
childhood.
But then
But you
again,
don't
going back
appreciate
to my
that.
mum being the youngest of the family, my mum had 7 people's or 10 people's hand-me-downs. So, you know, she was the last of the person to go through, you know, whatever pair of shoes, or she'll even tell you now about my Uncle Billy and going in and stealing his toothbrush and thinking it was a gag because she didn't have a toothbrush, you know. It was bad. So I think my mum has, and even to this day, like, I will never do without, my kids will never do without, none of us will do without, because she wouldn't allow it. But her thing then was she always wanted to make sure that we had, and to the detriment of her, 100% to the detriment of her and my daddy, like the two of them, just, me and Rachel and Stephen had everything. And that's just how she was. But I do think she'll go like I remember having to go to school with holes in my shoes. Mm-hmm. And I remember having, this was, you know, came from 5 things down to me. So I think that's why people will say we're spoilt, and we probably are spoilt. But when I did give her housekeeping, when I got married, she handed every penny of it back to me in my hand.
Did you, Victoria?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But isn't it great though that your parents were in that position to be able to do that? Because there are parents
we
that
were
wouldn't
lucky.
be in that position.
We were lucky because, you know, my dad had to go to work because that's what you done, and he got into shorts and was a skilled worker in shorts, so he done well.
Yes.
And then my mum decided to go out and she was home help all her life, and she
Yes.
decided to go, and she was only going for a couple of weeks to get a wee bit of money up to help with holiday, and she ended up there all her
Yeah.
life because she couldn't leave the wee people. The same, you know, that thing, you know, she looked after the elderly people, and then she had the foster, and because that's just the type of person my mummy is. My mummy just gives
Yeah, your
to
mummy
all of
is.
us,
Your mummy is like
everybody,
that. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, your mummy is like that. Your dad's actually like that too.
He is,
Your
but
dad's
he's quieter.
He's quieter.
He's the quiet man.
Well, he likes a good conversation.
Oh, he
with
likes
me.
a good chat with yous. You and
I'm
Karen.
gonna play a wee song so we can take a breather. I've actually been sent a message by my wife to tell me I'm talking too much. So I'm going to play this wee song. I'm going to compose myself before we come back. And we'll come back to this chat. There you go. Whitney Houston, How Will I Know? You have joined Pulse Online Radio. This is Let's Do Brunch with Alex J. And I'm joined in the studio this afternoon by a good friend of mine, Victoria, one of the super women in my teams, and also the fabulous Cheryl Bakes from TikTok. We're having a good old natter here.
We are.
And just before we went to that song, my wife had texted me and said I was talking too much, but she says I do that anyway. If we come in and if we're getting out of the car and the neighbours are getting out of their car, she literally ushers me into the house. Because I'll say, oh, I don't want to have a conversation, but I'll be standing there like an hour and a half later.
Yeah.
So
I know
I'm
the
hoping
feeling.
one of my friends is listening, Sarah Gracie, who also is a DJ. And we phoned each other last night and we were on the phone for 3 hours. Yes. And also we took a break in between we took a pee break and all, and then phoned each other back. Honestly, it's just crazy. So it's no wonder I'm hosting a wee radio show that's
This
all
is
about chat.
just perfect for you.
That's right up my street.
It is.
It is.
Cheryl, you recently were a judge for a bake-off for the young farmers.
I was.
How did you find it?
Good, really exciting. Jessica came up with me that day. That's one of my daughters, and she came up with me that evening. It was in Dromore, and up we went, and it was done very professionally. They had the young group in one section. They had to go through a couple of rounds to get to the final. So it was all of the north of Ireland. So there was Fermanagh, there was all over the place. And actually the winners, both of them in the senior and the junior, were from Ballywalter. Is that where your caravan is?
Not far.
Not far.
Just that came into my head
half an hour
there.
away.
I didn't know that they were both from Ballywalter until I had made the final decision. So they were both from Ballywalter. They produced fantastic food, but it was just a bit like the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the TV, you know. I felt like going 10 minutes.
Do you get asked to do much of that stuff?
I do get asked to do quite a lot of things, but I don't do it. It's not that, I'm odd or anything. It's just, but that's right up my street. That's right up my street. Cooking and baking. It's what I know. I was quite happy to do it. In fact, it was exciting and I liked it. So that was that. I'm all for encouraging young people to cook and bake and, get involved in that, because there's too many can't do that now. So I'm very for all that. There's other things that I'm, like the opening to Sephora. I'm not so much interested in, and why would I pay £8 an hour to go and park?
No.
Yeah. Were you invited to that?
Yeah.
Because I know there were some people who weren't, and they were very put out by it.
Well, I went to Spain. I was in Spain anyway, but there's things I'm invited to, and I'm just not really interested in it.
Yeah. I'm someone who loves makeup and fashion and shoes and all that. So most people always see me with a wig on, coloured contact lenses, eyelashes, and I love my clothes, and as I say, I love the fashion. But I won't be rushing to Sephora. I'll let the hype all calm down first, and then I'll get in and have a wee nosy. But it's just something, because I follow a big influencer on TikTok. Not so much now, even for her makeup stuff, because I've really sort of discovered that a lot of the stuff, she got me into a lot of things that I probably should be using. And because there's a big age difference as well. Yeah. So I find sometimes that's what I like about yours, Cheryl. It's real. And what's happening nowadays with the social media, and not just the TikToks, but we've got Facebook and we've Instagrams and all. Instagram probably was the first one that was kind of the big influencer one. Is that this paid partnership thing, and the fact that they're earning money from telling you something's great, and I find it very hard to trust now what I'm being told.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. See, I would actually not be getting something. Do you know when you go on and there's 5 or 6 of them and they're all going, oh my God, this is the very best mascara I've ever used. I'm like, I am not buying that mascara, because I know that is not the very best mascara that you've ever used.
Well, I've seen recently this thing, and it's so bizarre, and I just don't know how it works, but so obviously it does work because it keeps popping up on my For You page. But I use a collagen, so I take supplements, and one of the supplements I take is collagen. And I came by this WellGuard collagen. It's the brand, and they're quite a good brand. So I use their collagen, but I came across it on TikTok because it's actually, they do great deals on TikTok with it. You can buy 3, and sometimes there's like so much percentage off it and everything else. There are brilliant collagens out there. This one, I just like it because there's no flavour or smell or anything off it. But I watched a thing the other day. There's loads of people go, oh, you have to get this collagen. But that's fair enough, and I like that collagen too. But it was actually a cutout of somebody had printed out a picture of the collagen tub. And it was a cutout of the picture, of the sheet of paper. Yeah. And they had it in their video going, buy this collagen.
Oh dear. Mm-hmm.
And I see that regularly on my, that same thing on my For You page. And I'm going, hi. And then they've got all the hype voice hyping up the collagen, hyping up the product. And I go like, how are people falling for this? I know.
If you will,
how does that sell something?
You will see me on hyping things up, but I can tell you anything that I hype up because I'm like that in real life. I have to be convinced of something, and then if I'm convinced of it, I then spend my time trying to convince everybody else of it in my family.
Having met you now, you know, I can go, right, that...
Look,
if Cheryl's saying that's good.
Look at this.
I
have the Halara mini skirt on,
yes.
you know, with the shorts.
Yeah.
I love this skirt.
Well,
this skirt.
I have seen and loved the look of those Halara trousers.
Oh, I love them.
That skirt, all the rest of it. But see, because there are so many people on pushing it, I'm like, no,
seriously.
Not buying it.
I kid you not.
Yeah.
Now make sure you do click on the right link so you're not being, you know, false advertising.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm actually have something to send back at the minute, and then another thing. So last year there was my house is run by Alexa, my caravan's run by Alexa.
So is mine.
I literally the technology.
No,
she's just not.
No, I don't even know how to use my phone.
She even tells me to brush my teeth at 8:30 in the morning.
I don't go that far now.
I do,
but I love the Alexa, and I got my mum one and I got my sister one, so we could all like communicate. My nephew's forever putting things on the shopping list, and because they're all on my account, my shopping list comes up with chocolate cake and all these things, you know, that he's asked for. But anyway, I digress. So there was an Alexa speaker, and it was, you know, the wee dome ones, and it was doing this great price, and I sent off for it when it came. It wasn't an Alexa, it was a speaker, it was a Bluetooth speaker, and it was called Alexi.
Oh dear.
It was advertised as an Alexa.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know,
be careful.
You do have to be careful.
You do have to be careful. I am I will defend myself about anything. Like, I have a Be Perfect bundle, and I can honestly, hand on heart, say everything in it is amazing. For 35 quid, and it's worth, you know.
I do like Be Perfect.
I like Be Perfect.
It's worth a fortune.
One of Noah's best friend, her brother is like a product developer for Be Perfect.
Oh, they're lovely, the staff.
Yeah.
Honestly, they are.
Yeah, and I live in Ards, so we have the shop now. I went there recently down in Ards, so we have it down there now.
Brendan is a local man who had a vision. His mum and all is in there. They are real family orientated. The way they treat their staff, what I have seen, and he is all about creating a luxury brand for affordable prices and honest to goodness.
I use some of the products.
It is a game changer for me. Honestly, it's fantastic, and I wouldn't say that.
Why would have you here?
Why would I lie?
Because this is what I wanted. The minute I haven't bought.
Yeah.
Purple tooth whitening strips.
No, I think all they do, honestly, is just make your gums blue.
Right, there we go then.
To whiten your teeth.
I'm literally offered, and you'll know anybody who does the stuff on TikTok. We're literally emailed the whole time, especially if you've got a big following. Can I send you this? Can I send you that? Can I send you that? No. So anything I bought it. I will buy it.
Yeah.
Now, Halara will send me products.
Yeah.
And unless it's great, I'm not put.
I will say this. My wife and I both tried the Halara leggings.
No, I don't like them.
No, we didn't.
You won't see me.
We sent them back because we didn't like them. They came.
What do they do to your bum? What is that about?
No, nothing.
Divides it.
Oh no! Is there leggings
it's meant to give you like a bum lift and make it look like a peach.
Stop it.
But let me tell you, mine looked more like two hanging pears.
Split in half.
Did nothing for me.
No, I don't like them either.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why you're not going to see me on. The things I do like is the jeans and the look at the wee
I do fancy the Halara jeans, but I like, for any ladies listening out there, I like, you know, to have a bit of compression with my bottoms. You know, well, obviously because I have a bit of a tum and whatever, so
you'd be surprised.
I like a wee bit of compression, and I just get the impression that they're like a pair of jeans that I was putting on this morning, took off and discussed, because they're actually, you know, there's so much stretch in them, and that's what worries me. There'd be no compression.
Honestly, all I can say now, because you're wee, you would have to get yours taken up, to be quite honest.
I have to get everything taken up.
You would have to get them taken up, but they are fabulous. And whatever magic, the way this isn't an advert for thing, but whatever way they've got the big broadband that never digs into you, and whatever way the pockets fall, it falls over that pouch of a belly that we all have, and just... I wish I had them on the day.
So you do highly recommend.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right, well, I'm getting myself.
My mother, my sister-in-law, my daughters, every one of us wear them. Because when I got my first pair last February and loved them so much, I'm like, every person I met, oh my goodness, you should get these jeans.
Yeah, Louise, who's a presenter on Pulse Online Radio. She was on last night. She just sent a message that the jeans are so lovely and they're comfy.
They are.
Right,
Honestly,
okay.
they
There
are.
we go
They're
then.
unreal.
Yes, I'm going to get a pair and try them.
Me
You don't
too.
send them back if you don't
Go
like
onto
them,
my
I
link.
suppose.
we
I
go.
will use your link. Yes, I will use your link. So I'm going to play a wee song here and go and make us a wee cup of tea.
Brilliant.
That do. This is Billy Ocean and Red Light Spells Danger. This song has just come back all of a sudden this last year. It's sort of been quite big. So here we go, Billy Ocean, Red Light Spells Danger, and be back with you in a tick. And there you go. I had to stick another wee song on there because I was making a wee cup of tea because I am, you're going to be so jealous, everybody listening. I am testing Cheryl's baking. And
Good woman.
melting moments. I just had a mouthful there of a melting moment, and I swear I just want to go home, take them into bed,
And have another moment.
and have a moment to myself. That's just life for me. And the tea, I mean, you wouldn't even need the cup of tea. Something else. I love my Ovaltine at night time, Cheryl.
Oh, do you? Oh. Mm-hmm. You're very
Ovaltine.
granny-ish.
I am, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's a hug and a mug. But saying that, one of my best friend's daughter, Amber, she's 20, I want to say she's 22. She might tell me different, but I think she's 22. She also drinks Ovaltine. So she does at night time. So me and my wife are not the only ones.
Aren't the only ones.
It is a hug and a mug.
I think it's quite high in
Especially
calories.
The chocolate one. Yes. But I mean, I calorie count. So,
Yeah.
I factor it in. Although I take the light one.
Right.
So the lighter version, which also has some good vitamins in it. And it's the chocolate. It's like a light chocolatey one. So I have it at night time with my collagen before I go to bed.
Cute.
And it sets me
So
up.
cute.
It's just
Wee furry slippers and a pair of fleecy jammies.
not the furry slippers and not the fleecy jammies, but yeah. Excuse me, I wear satin pajamas from Shein.
And I don't like them satin jammies. You slide out of the bed,
sliding
or you try and
everywhere.
move your legs and they're sliding off each other.
What you don't want is the satin jammies from Shein, honestly, especially when you're having hot flushes at night time, because they make everything worse. They're just
do they?
they're pure
In
nylon.
fairness,
Is it
they
nylon?
look gorgeous.
They are
Because we were on
beautiful.
FaceTime
Yes.
and you had... And she,
Oh, I've
these here now?
I have a whole collection
Yeah.
of them.
Like
I
these
love
ones
them.
and these ones. There was
Yeah.
giraffes and zebras and all sorts of fancies.
Yeah.
I was like, my God, they look lovely.
They are beautiful.
Yeah.
They are beautiful. So if you're working in a hospital or anything like that,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
get your jammies off Shein. They're brilliant. But if you're going through the menopause, not so good because they're not that breathable.
No.
They're not ones you can breathe in. So maybe on holiday the lighter ones are okay because they are light material. But if you're really sweating or anything at night time, they're not as breathable. So that's my advice. I haven't tried the Halara.
Very good
but,
advice, actually.
That's my advice. But very good value for money.
Yes.
So they are. Victoria,
Yes.
you're a single gal.
All the single ladies.
What's it like being single and in your 40s? Almost 50, by the way.
Almost 50,
Yeah.
well,
Benedict's,
You were
is it? Benedict's at the
I
weekend.
don't go out. See, this is the thing. I don't leave the house.
No,
I don't. I'm
she's
a wee...
not you're a recluse.
I am a recluse.
You're
I had enough of the humans.
you prefer animals?
I do prefer
Because the
animals.
other thing, Cheryl, that Victoria does is she volunteers for an animal rescue, and
Right.
they go out they're like it's like calling 911. That program 911. They go out in the dead of night to rescue animals.
Now, there's two of us, two of the girls especially.
There's a whole
They
team of
look-
you.
there
Like
is a-
Debbie
there is a-
Doolittle, is it? No?
No, I volunteer for Ards in North Down, Lost
Right.
and Found. So we would be really, really big. It's one of the one of the biggest ones. And we'll cover a very large... the girl, Andrea, is, it's her page, it's her thing, and she's amazing. The stuff she does is just... All the girls are amazing, and everything's voluntary. Everybody's given up their own time to do it. A couple of the girls, especially Amy and Nairi, they're like the cat whisperers. These girls go out, and I don't know what they give those cats, but they come running into those traps for them. The stuff that they do, and working with some of the wildlife, trappers, they go out and get the wildlife ones. Andrea has the drones, so we'll have people out and get the drones up. And help find that.
She's anytime I'm talking to her, like, she can't talk for long, maybe because they do page monitoring as well, because people message the social media page, but also like, oh, I'm on my way to whatever, like an incident or a rescue, like it's quite exciting.
Sounds it.
But you have to be prepared for some of the sights that you see.
I am not great with that, you know.
See, I couldn't do that bit.
That's very hard for me.
And you know, like, abused animals, or an animal that hasn't been fed, has been left on its own for weeks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I could cope. I don't think I have two wee tiny dogs, and I love animals, and I don't think that I could cope with that level of.
No.
You know, I see a wee dog, and you know, it's like, because one of my wee dogs is 13, wee Dudley, and his wee tongue hangs out the side of his mouth. Yeah. And sometimes I look at him and I can actually cry for him.
Yeah. What type of dog is he?
He's a wee
like when we say miniature, it's like you can't actually believe that he exists.
He's a wee miniature Yorkshire Terrier.
Right.
And the other one is a toy poodle, but he's the tiniest toy poodle you can get, because he was the runt. Both my wee dogs are the runt of their litter.
I love the wee runts.
Yes, I love the wee runts.
They were both the runts.
He's like a wee spring lamb.
He is. We call him Murphy the terrorist. Everybody thinks he's, because when you take him anywhere, you can take him anywhere, and he'll just cuddle into the person that's holding them, because everybody wants to cuddle him because he looks like a wee teddy. But in the house, he literally tortures the life out of Dudley. Yep. He doesn't give you 2 minutes. He's just one of those. Yeah. So I would find it really difficult to do that job.
It is hard. Victoria. It is hard. Now, I am very lucky that all of the other girls cope with things like that a lot better than I do. You know, so if there's a need to go out and there's a deceased animal, they will go. There's a couple especially.
It's not so much the deceased ones, it's the emaciated and the cruelty ones.
It's hard to get your head around, because, you know, I still live in this bubble of, we live in Northern Ireland, you know, things like that don't happen here. Mm-hmm. It clearly does happen.
It does.
And it's terrible. And animals, we don't deserve them. We really don't. And that's another reason for the vegetarian, vegan sort of thing. Yeah. You know, we'll not go down that road of... Yeah. But... You know, I love
a good steak, as you know. Like,
you're not going to put me off, sorry.
No, not put me off either. I know,
but we'll not go there.
No, we won't.
But
and you have yourself, you have your big dog, and
Big Luna.
Then you've Maine Coon. Is it Maine?
I have a Maine Coon.
Maine Coon.
Oh, my brother has Maine Coons. Yeah.
So I have 2 wee rescues, which were wee Bean and then wee Stella. She's the newest addition, and then I have Big North. North's my wee bestie.
North is a giant of a cat.
Yeah.
But beautiful. Beautiful.
She's the best cat in the world. I just love my animals. I'm just quite happy. You know, people are like, when are you going to, you know, oh, Vicky, you're... Because it's in you. I was single for 5 years, was back together for a while there, so I'm newly single again. But everybody would be like, when are you going to get yourself out there? When are you going to... And I'm like, me and my animals are quite happy in the house.
And that's fine. I always think that's fine, because I think I would be quite happy if anything, God forbid, happened between me and my wife, or one of us wasn't here. I would want her to go out and make sure that she keeps surrounding herself with people, and I want her to be with someone, and I would want her to be like her to have someone to look after and someone to look after her. But for me, I kind of feel that I just would want to be on my own. I don't think I'd want to be... I don't think I'd want to be...
But no,
I'm quite happy.
I wouldn't want to be on my own. Like, who would cut the grass and all?
Well, you
How long are you married?
This is my second husband.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've been together nearly 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I first got, you know, when we got together at the beginning, you know, it was sort of exciting. I was newly separated. And we got together, and we've been together, you know, ever since. And it was, you know, mainly, you know, because I needed somebody to cut the grass.
you learn to cut your own grass, believe it or not.
Oh, but you have to pull that. Oh, I couldn't even do that.
The thing is, we really...
Oh, no, he's a great man. I'm only joking.
We really promote independent women on this show.
We do.
But yes, I agree with you, Cheryl. We need someone to...
No, but do you not think that, you know, is that not... Delegation is about being an independent woman?
Listen, yes, absolutely, it is, but... I am probably too independent, fiercely
You
independent.
are, but also as a friend, as your
Yes.
friend, you're also too independent.
Yes, I get
because
shouted
you
at for
don't
that.
you don't lean
No.
on anybody.
No.
So, you know, in your tough times and times where things are going on, you don't really, unless I'm in contact with you at that particular time and
Yeah.
I'm saying, right, what's happening?
What's
like
going
the other
on?
night,
Like
I
the other
phoned you.
night.
Like my spidey senses, but you don't, Cheryl, you've got girlfriends, so you'll know.
I do.
So my spidey senses sometimes go. If I've been texting someone and just by the tone of the text,
Yeah, you do.
I'll go, And then
Something's wrong.
So I text her. I waited for a day, and then I text her. I went, well, and she went, well, are you asking me well because you know something? And I was like, So then we phoned, and I just went, yeah, you have to tell me. Yeah. And she went, what do you think? And so I told her what I thought it was, and she went, how did you know that?
Did you know?
You just kind of know with the vibe with friends, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, my wife just texted, you don't cut the grass. I know, because I agreed with Cheryl and I said, we do need someone to cut the grass.
You see? You need a man. Bring one in.
I've got a woman, Cheryl, who cuts the grass.
But you bring a man to cut the grass.
No. My
Fiver.
wife's great at cutting the grass.
Oh, is she? Oh, she does it.
She does it, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought she was saying you don't, but
No,
she was saying she does.
No, I don't cut the grass. She cuts the grass in our house. She also does things like, you know, what do you call that? Stains the decking.
Really?
I tell you what, she's the best window cleaner in the business.
Really?
Yeah, she's really good at that stuff.
The best window cleaner.
Really, really good. And before, I've got a couple of conditions that have really impaired my mobility in this last couple of years. And I'm starting to feel a little bit better now, but I'm due to have 2 surgeries to help that, obviously. But so this last couple of years, like, she's been doing a lot more of things what I would have normally have been doing. Like I would have been the person to do the housework. I would have been the person to do all the cooking, and like she has sort of just stepped into that role as well. So she kind of I get on with all the creative stuff and the brain stuff, you know, and she is very happy to be just busy. I'm not saying she's happy all the time to do the housework because she does groan a wee bit, but we all have a wee moan and groan.
She just likes to let us know.
But
that
isn't that what makes a good couple? Yeah. Isn't that what makes a good couple?
Yeah, we are a good team. No, we really are a good team.
That,
you know,
same as Paul and I, we would be a very good team. You know, I would do the cooking and, you know, he'll help tidy up. Yeah.
But personality-wise, what way are you balanced? Because you're quite an extrovert, open person. Is he a bit quieter than you?
Very quiet.
Is he?
Very quiet. He'll come into some of my TikToks mortified. He looks like he's
he's like a
superimposed person who just stands there, you know.
But he was dancing with you the other day.
That would be me.
Somebody says in a comment, blink if you need rescued, Paul. Yeah, I have to say, you know, I don't know how he puts up with me. Even my family think they don't know how he puts up with me. But he's a lovely man. He's lovely.
So
he loves my kids. And
it's so good to have the yin and yang in a relationship, isn't it?
It is.
Now, I would say Karen and I are yin and yang to a certain degree, but then there is a certain degree of us where she actually is a bit madder than me, which is a lot of my friends will go, yes, but people who know me will go, that's hard to believe if they don't know Karen, you know, that well. But actually, my wife can be a little bit more mad than me.
Oh, I'd love to meet her.
And
Karen is one of my most favourite people in the whole wide world.
Oh, cheapers.
She is, honestly, she is. I just.
And she's a great age, isn't she? 59.
She'll be 60.
I just
Me too.
Everybody.
Actually, she's probably going to kill me. It's probably not next year. It's probably the year after.
No, I'm 60 this year.
This year, I'm 50 this year.
Big 10 years between us.
No, it is next year. Next year's 2027, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it is next year. She'll be 60 next year.
Younger than me.
So
life's good.
The thing about, I think, in the relationship, so we're talking about being single and being over 40.
Oh yes, that's right.
So for me, I would quite happily, I'm saying this now, I'm thinking, would I be happy on my own? But then I'm thinking, but I think I'm only happy with Karen.
Yeah.
I'm only happy with my person.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be as happy with someone else. So that's why I think I'm better just being on my own. I'm either happy by myself or happy with my person.
Yeah.
And my person is the person I'm with now. So I don't think, because we have such, like we were just saying this morning, you know, because I was talking to Sarah last night, as I said, 3 hours. And, you know, her partner's very similar to my wife in terms of like very supportive of what we do. I wouldn't be able to do half the things I do without her.
No.
Well, I'm the same, to be honest.
No.
You know.
No. Karen she's always there, isn't she?
And does Paul, she's always in the background.
She's always in the background.
And does Paul, I mean, I don't know, is he retired or does he still work or, you know?
No, we're both at home
Both
together.
at home.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just thinking about your recent fame, climb to fame. How does he take all that when you go out and stuff and people do recognise you like in home bargains, or does he just not go to home bargains with you?
Paul takes everything in his stride, like everything in life in his stride.
You said he's very quiet, but would he chat to the people?
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. He would chat more to the postman and anybody who comes in than I would, you know.
Yeah.
I'm usually quite busy, but Paul loves a wee chat. He comes across as if he's... he loves a wee chat. Now, he is Granda, the best Granda in the entire world to Jessica's kids. Like, they know nothing different, you know. Yeah. And it'll be Paul who all the grandkids cling to. They just adore him. So, you know, if you're good to my kids my grandchildren, you're my person.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got a couple of messages just before we carry on. I'll just read them out. So this is Susie. Hi everyone, listening for the first time today and loving the music. Love this Billy Ocean number. So that was Red Light Spells Danger. I'm Cheryl's sister-in-law.
Oh yeah.
Married to her lovely brother Jeff. I can confirm Halara jeans are amazing.
Yeah, I got her in.
There you go.
And her bundle is the best.
Oh,
is this the Be Perfect bundle?
Yeah, it is very good.
Her bundle is the best. Cheryl is super generous with her time and talent, and it's lovely to hear you all chatting, Suzanne.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, that's
she would be one of
lovely.
my best friends.
Yes.
That's lovely. I've got another message here, and Sarah, the other presenter who I was on the phone with last night, I'm about to go on and order some Halara jeans, laugh out loud. I love Billy Ocean. It's like £80 for a ticket though, up at the waterfront. Apparently it's a great show as always, she said.
Well, that's good, Sarah. Make sure you go and use my link.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, go on to Cheryl Bakes Cakes is your full TikTok handle, and order from Cheryl's link for the Halara jeans or the Be Perfect bundle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, yes.
It's been sitting at the top of their top sellers of their Be Perfect bundles.
But then that goes back to what I'm saying, Cheryl. You're so real. You know, you're so anything that you're recommending, I know that you're actually you are recommending it. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel, and that was even before meeting you today. So I think the thing about it is that obviously I'm not the only person that feels that or sees that, and you've almost 400,000 followers, haven't you, on TikTok, or have you more than that?
No, I've less than that. I think 300 and something, 40,000 or something like that.
So almost 400,000.
Yeah. No, I would be mortified if I told somebody something was good and it wasn't. I'd be affronted.
Yeah, and I think so myself as well, because I did a little video, which is funny, on TikTok myself when I got that coat. See that coat hanging there? I got that coat for a real steal of a bargain. And after I got that coat went up. It's like a duffel coat for anybody listening with a hood and pink fur in it. So if you go onto my TikTok, you'll see the Let's Do Brunch TikTok. If you scroll down, you'll see my video on this coat. I don't do videos like that, but I loved that coat so much when I couldn't believe the quality of it and for the price I got it for. And so I went on and just did it. Now I'm not like somebody who's very good at doing that. So I just went on, here's my coat, look at it.
Yeah, that's the way I am.
Here's the link for it.
Yeah.
You know, but I think I made like £100 of putting that on.
Yeah.
But I think and there's not really any other videos of me doing that with any product. So I just think people went, oh, well, if she's put that on. Yeah. So I think it's kind of the thing where you're not just putting random stuff on. No. And like you said, you get offered stuff all the time and you don't always just accept it.
I laugh because quite a few people have said to me, you know, I seen you in Abbey Centre and I wasn't sure if it was you, but I seen the Halaras, so I knew for sure it was you.
So I think, do you have the ones with the wee diamantes on them?
In Halara?
The sparkly ones? Is there like sparkly
Oh, my daughter
ones?
has sparkly jeans, but they weren't Halara.
They're not Halara
No.
jeans. I think there's Halara jeans I saw, because I was thinking about getting them for Christmas, and they were the like wee gemstones on them or something on them.
Did.
It was around Christmas time.
I maybe have a pair of those on, yeah.
But you see, I just thought the no compression thing. I just thought, but I'm definitely going to order a pair and try
No, you'll
them.
love them. It'll be your new thing.
Here, my mum has just sent a message. I'm going to see her after the show today.
Mm-hmm.
My mum actually refuses to work an extra day on a Thursday in work because she has to listen to this show.
Oh, bless.
She just loves it. But she's got a wee shelf, and girls, tell me this. There's a wee shelf and it's got wee clamps on it, and so it'll come out a wee bit. And I was thinking I'm going to bring it into the studio and use it for guests for cups of tea and coffee.
That would be a good idea.
Do you think that would
Yeah.
work? Because I asked, my mum got it and it worked out. It wasn't right for what she wanted it for, and she's got it sitting behind her sofa. So I messaged her the other night and said to her, Mum, could I have that wee shelf? And she said yes. So she said, where are you going to set your cups of tea with no shelf yet?
Over here, precariously.
Says, tell Vicky and Cheryl I said hello.
God, love
Tell
it.
your mummy we're sending her buns.
Yes.
Yes, Mum, there's buns coming your way. And one for Karen, because I'll never live that down.
won't.
Because my wife, the next message is my wife, any cakes for me? Question. So I'm actually surprised all the presenters from that went, are you leaving buns for us? I left a whole pile of biscuits in the cupboard a couple of weeks ago when I first came in. Because I thought, well, it'd be nice, like the presenter making themselves a wee cup of coffee, a wee cup of tea. I'm so surprised there's still a few packets of biscuits left in there. So, they all must be looking after themselves. Know how well I'm looking after myself. I'm going to play another wee song and we'll come back after this one. And this one is actually one from my childhood. My parents, when I was young, I took this. I love like all sorts of genre of music, but I took a real liking to Bros. Do you remember Bros?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When will I be famous?
Yeah, so this is the song, right? I only realised this, and it only dawned on me when I was sort of in my late 20s, because my mum told me. I was mad about Bros. I had posters everywhere, and a few days before Christmas, my mum said something about Bros. It was on the television, and I went, oh, I don't like them anymore. My mum had went out and bought me all this Bros stuff for Christmas, and it was a couple of days before Christmas.
And you said then that you didn't like them
I
anymore?
just when I didn't like them anymore. And I thought, oh my goodness, I didn't realise as a parent how, like, that must have been, like, and we didn't have a lot of money growing up. Like, we weren't well off or anything. So my mum must have been round everywhere collecting
the Bros stuff.
paraphernalia, and was going to give me, like, I can imagine, like, whole piles of Bros stuff. Yeah. And, like, I just told her 2 days before Christmas I didn't like it anymore.
My brother Jeff used to think he was one of Bros, who Suzanne's married to. He did look a bit like them, and I think he works British Airways, and a couple of people would have said to him, oh, you look very like, Matt Bros, or one of those Brosses or whatever, Goss, yeah. And so he,
Was it Matt and Luke?
Matt and Luke.
And then what did you call the third guy?
Craig.
He was Craig.
Oh yeah,
Craig
forgot there was somebody there.
Yeah.
He wasn't related to them, was he? Wasn't he? Was just a friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, long story short, we're going to play Bros. When Will I Be Famous? There you go. What about that? Bros and When Will I Be Famous? And that was in honour of our guest today, who is Rose to Fame. Rose to Fame on TikTok. Because TikTok isn't just a local thing. Like, this is like international.
It is.
Kind of like our radio station here. Our radio shows are broadcast because we're online. So we have listeners right across the world. So we have listeners in all Nigeria.
Oh.
And I have quite a big following from Nigeria on my TikTok.
Yeah.
So when I go live, I get a lot of it Nigerians. I also get a lot of marriage proposals.
You do?
Yeah, me too.
But
Yeah.
but
Do you
That's
ever
what's
get
wrong then. Clearly that's what I'm doing wrong.
you do TikTok lives?
We need to get me on TikTok.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then...
That's it. You will be proposed
there
to.
we go. Uh-huh.
Brad
No
Pitt,
longer
Brad Pitt
single?
installed, and it might have been the real Brad Pitt. Do you know who proposed to me? I'm not sure, but
I got
was it
proposed to
Brad?
Brad
Brad
Pitt as
Pitt,
well,
yeah.
And also
he's been cheating.
Has been?
Also Garth Brooks contacted me and Max McNaught.
All genuine
Crazy.
characters.
Absolutely lovely people. What was I just going to tell you there? Oh, yes. So for everybody listening, welcome to Let's Do Brunch with Alex J. In the studio today, I have my good friend Victoria and also the lovely Cheryl Bakes Cakes from TikTok.
Hello.
Did you just get called Cheryl Bakes Cakes?
I
You don't
they
mind
just,
that?
No, they just call me Cheryl Bakes.
Cheryl Bakes.
There's Cheryl Bakes. There's Cheryl Bakes.
Yeah. But your full handle is Cheryl Bakes Cakes. Bakes Cakes. If anybody wants to go to your TikTok and who isn't already following you or doesn't know who you are at the minute, which I find that hard to believe because anybody I said you're coming on the show to, but I love her videos. So we were actually talking earlier on about your wind batter, the video that made you famous was your the one that you went outside and it was a hurricane, wasn't it? The hurricane.
It was one of our storms, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it was called.
Pretty
at the time.
bad, and you were getting battered about, and you videoed yourself, and then your children told you to put it on TikTok because it was funny, and it is hilarious.
I'll have to go and look
We
at
should have
it.
watched it when we're having a cup
I've
of
done a
tea
few
there.
weather reports because you can't live where I live and not do weather reports.
True, true, because you live right by the sea. And we were just saying how much we have in common with you because we also have homes by the sea. Now, they're tin ones, but they're great. Caravans. They're not tin, what are they made of?
They are.
Not
They're like
nowadays, they're not.
prefab, aren't they? They're like,
Aye, but they're not tin anymore.
no. It's
I
more
mean, we
like
do have central heating and all, and double glazing and all in our ones.
We have a caravan in Benone.
Bananas, one of the most
Banana, beautiful
beautiful places in the
bits.
That's where we have one. We barely used it last year, but this year we're definitely going
We
to
were the
use it because
same.
we're
Yes.
paying our.
We were the same last year. We both
This
said
year,
this.
that's
That's
it.
what I've said.
It's caravan year.
Yes, I'm moving down at Easter
Yeah.
and that'll be me. I'll just be coming up for work.
I've said we're definitely using it this year. I've said it for the past couple of years. Unless we use it, I am giving it up because the site fees are too expensive not to use
The
it.
site fees are. Do you know the thing about it is I feel like, there is a campaign to get more rights for caravan.
Yeah, there should be.
Caravan owners. We have no rights whatsoever.
No,
and
none.
it's just horrendous.
Site guy decides, and you
Yeah.
just go with it.
Yeah, the rules of your site and also then the cost of the fees is ridiculous. Although I have to say, I was watching some Facebook page the other day and I was looking because I was thinking we're getting ripped off, but actually we are in line with what a lot
I
of
would
other people are
say,
paying.
yeah,
We
I
are.
would say it's kind of.
So it's very similar,
Yeah.
very similar. Just want to give you the WhatsApp number if you want to get involved with the conversation today because we're talking about everything and anything. So 077 561 61456. That's 077 561 61456. Now we want to get back to, we were chatting about being single and navigating singledom. Being over 40, almost
I'm
50.
feeling a wee bit victimised here, to be fair.
Well,
Keep
no,
coming back round to this.
Well, no, normally we talk about the menopause, but I find this really something that for a lot of people out there, because like some of my other friends, I'm into my second marriage. Okay, so the marriage I'm in is my second one. And the first time around, I was just so young. I was just really young. I was 19. Literally, I turned 19 a week after my wedding. So I was that far too young. And, I feel at that stage we're not really mature. And whilst we start out like parallel, as we mature and we find ourselves and get to know ourselves, our paths start to branch off, I feel. And only the lucky ones, the branches sort of stay parallel. But also I feel as well that a relationship isn't one where it's not meant to be work. I feel a relationship you should have work because you're two separate entities and two separate people. So I do think, don't go into a marriage or a relationship thinking, oh, it's not meant to be hard work. It's not meant to be torture. But at the same time, you do have to work at it because you're two different people.
There has to be.
Oh, yeah. There has to be
absolutely.
work. Of course it
there
does.
has to be.
But, we're talking about you because you're quite, I'm not saying you're uncompromising, but you're quite set in your ways. And I could say this because you're my friend.
Yes, no, I would say, yeah. But that is another thing that comes with age because you realise the things that you're not going to compromise on anymore. I know what I want. And I'm just not going to settle for anything less
I
than
think
what I
I would
want.
be like that, if I suddenly found myself single.
Yeah.
And the state of my dressing room today as I was leaving, because Cheryl, you're a bit like me. You have a spare room in your house that you can use as a dressing room, so I'm the same. But the state of my dressing room as I was leaving today, and I was sort of like, she's going to divorce me or something, So I vowed that I will tomorrow spend the day organising. Sort myself out.
I need to sort out and take a wee trip to the charity shop with a whole lot of clothes. So I do.
I've been doing the vintage thing, selling
have you?
vintage. And I've done quite well on it, but I'm actually getting a bit fed up with it now because sometimes I've got boxes, because I'm quite an organised person normally, and I've got boxes of stuff and everything's in the boxes. But then when you're going looking for things, because somebody's bought something.
Yeah.
I'm pulling the stuff out and then I'm having to repack it all again. So I'm kind of like, I might just take the boxes to the charity shop.
You can't be bothered.
No.
No. But for, I think when we're talking about you being single, sorry that we're talking about you being single, I think one of the things as we get older is to remember, and it's a good piece of advice for anybody, is we're the CEO of our own lives. Yeah. So we need to hire, fire and promote.
Yeah, absolutely.
What in our lives, things that do good for us or don't. Yeah. You know, hire, fire or promote, because nobody else is going to do it for us.
Yeah.
If it's making you happy and it's working along with you, absolutely. Because CEOs will work with people who they are in their lives. They will work with them. They'll try and make situations work. But there comes a time where you have to go, this isn't working. We need to fire or promote, you know.
And I think though, if you put a little bit of work in to, you know, find your common ground and be able to because there's a lot of compromising goes on in our house, you know, either one side or the other. Yeah. And I have to say, Karen's pretty good. Like, she is pretty good, because I'm a bit like you, Victoria, as you know. Like, I have my ways, and my ways are my ways, and that's the way it is. Although I'm not so bad now, but I do think she does compromise a lot. But then there's the other side of it is that, you know, it's give and take.
But the two of you work very, very well together. And I look at relationships in my life, you know, there's my mum and dad, they're, you know, they're still together 50 years, you know. But I look at younger, and I look at my sister and Scott, and like, you know, Rachel's was very short-tempered, you know, didn't tolerate anything.
Rachel's very much as well, because Rachel would put you in mind of a CEO. Yes. You know, she's very focused. Yes. And she very has business. Her ways as well, like her ways,
But Scott's the blonde one, do you know? But I watch the two of them, and I think of the things
that Karen in the relationship. Yeah.
And I think of the things that Rachel would have lost her mind over. And Scott, we were standing at the football the other day. My sister's blonde; she's blonde eyebrows. Obviously, she pencils them in, right? And we're standing.
As you do.
We're standing there, and she said something to him, and he goes, "Come here, wee minute." And she goes, "What is it?" And she comes over to him, and he just goes like that, and wipes her eyebrow off, pulls her hat down, and goes, "Shut up." And she's laughing, like Rachel wouldn't have found that funny 10 years ago. Like, that would have been...
Did she laugh at that?
Oh, no, the two of them just laugh and get on. And I think that's what I want now. I want that. I want that fun.
Oh, no, I don't want that. My wife listening, don't ever do that to me. She would know never to do that to me. That would be the worst thing you could do to me.
But I do. I
think we just need to learn to work with one another, don't we? Because there's things that, like I say, my family don't know how Paul sticks me, and that's the truth. I can agree with that. I don't know how he puts up with me, but there's things he does that, you know, sometimes I don't know how I put up with it either. No, and it's just about realising, as much as he might bug me, I'm definitely bugging him.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Oh, listen,
it's finding your person.
I had an ex-husband. Obviously, I was married, 2 kids and all the rest of it, and, you know, I'll always say to anybody, you know, me and Gary just didn't like each other very much at the end. But we worked together very, very well. You know, me and him just were, we were good friends, you know, and that was the most thing, you know, and found our feet afterwards. You know, it wasn't rough. It was a bit rough at the start, but...
But then, what age were you?
I got married when I was 20.
Yeah, so, you know, again, young.
Yeah, so we were married for... Were we married for... No, we weren't. We were married for about, I don't know, 18 years maybe.
Yeah.
Same as me. I got married when I was 21 and he was 20 for the first time.
Yeah.
And we were together for 18 years.
Yeah. And I think it's a kind of thing where, you know, you're growing together. You're just really learning who you are as a person, you know. And I think the relationship that you've had and the relationship that you've had, the first relationship, mine was similar, not as long now.
Yeah.
We were together 11 years. And I think for me, the thing about it is I have no regrets, because I know that I did try. And is that what you would say, being married 18 years and think your first marriage, you did try, and so you can't have any regrets about it.
Well, I think it's when we stop trying.
Yeah. But you do stop trying.
You stop trying.
You do give up. Yeah. But then that's that's the time where what you said, Cheryl, a wee bit earlier on, you just said, well, you have to allow for a time too where it comes to the point where you just say,
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
just not working.
I just
and
can't do it
you have to
anymore.
admit that to yourself as well.
Yeah.
So
sometimes I think you just, honestly, I don't know what you think, Victoria, but sometimes you just think grass is greener on the other side, and you step over the track, and you stop trying, and you.
It's easy to get complacent,
Isn't it?
And that's one thing that'll not happen in the future with me. There'll be no complacency. The struggle I'm going to have is that I know what I want now. And anybody that comes into my life is going to have to be able to offer that. I don't need anybody. I don't need a man to cut my grass.
You don't.
I don't
There's
need a man to
difference.
decorate.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't need any financial help. I don't need any emotional support. I'm lucky that I have my family who are great, and I have a very small circle of amazing friends. Like if I need anything, if I want it, if life's bad, I have my wee people, and I know that they'll come galloping
Yes.
down to me, and they're always there. So anybody that comes into my life can only add to it now. You're never taken. You're not taken away from me, from anything. And if it isn't happy, and if there isn't a goal in mind, if there isn't a long-term objective, I want to settle down. Where 5 years ago I didn't. I was like, right, no, I don't want anything. I don't. Now I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, right, I want that companionship. I want to have somebody to wake up beside every morning. I want to feel wanted. I want to be married. I want to have somebody that I know that I've got those long-term plans with now.
Somebody to eat a Chinese with
Yeah.
on a Saturday night.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. For me, the feeling, like I'm here today and we're chatting, and if something was upsetting me, the only thing I feel good about is the fact that I go home and I've got my person at home.
Yes.
That is going to have my back. Now,
Yeah.
Vicky,
Yeah.
I have a great circle of friends. I feel like I am the most luckiest person on the planet. And I'm not saying that lightly. I feel with the friends that I have, I am the most luckiest person on the planet, because my friends that I have in my circle, it's a very big circle. Not unlike you said, you've got a small circle.
Yeah.
I have groups of friends that in different circles. So they're, different, and some of the groups don't know each other, and they only met maybe at my wedding in 2022. But yet we've been friends for such a long time with these groups of people. So I feel like I'm the luckiest person alive, but no matter who's in my friendship group, I always have Karen to go
That's
home
it.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that feeling
Yeah.
of just being able to go home and say to her, you know what, it wasn't such a great day today, and I am a bit sad, or I am very happy, or you don't need somebody drilling holes in your bucket.
No.
If you've had a great day, Cheryl or Vicky, and you've had a really good day, and it puts you on a real good high, and you're buzzing, that buzz that you get, and you're coming back and you go, I did this, and it might be a bit silly. It might sound to someone else a bit silly, but if that other person's going, well, that sounds a bit silly, or why did you do that, or why?
Yeah.
Instead of just going, she's on a wave here, I'm just going to jump on the surfboard and we'll go this wave, and I'll just ride this wave with her. Instead of doing that, if that other person is going, well, why did you do that? And that's not the kind of person that you need. You need somebody who's your personal cheerleader, but you also need that person who, in front of someone, even if you're wrong, will have your back, but behind the door will go, actually, you need to think about that.
We know that with
right.
me. Like I would be a very strong-willed little individual.
Yes.
So my nearest and dearest, you being one of them.
The friends that you have, like you send them a 911 message and they put the shovel into the boot of the car and just go, right, where we're going. They don't ask questions.
Yeah.
That's the groups of friends that I have, and Vicky's one of those. In one of those groups.
Give me your number for a
I
laugh.
have a wee group of a friendship group of women that I just call my super women group, and Vicky's one of those.
Oh, that's lovely.
Is one of the people that can say to me, no, and I'll just go, right. you know, very few people in life will actually
Or like
know
the other
me,
night.
or will, you know, will actually even approach or even get to the point of saying no to me. They'll be like, well, not, we'll just let her go on.
A lot of people
Where
have the
she'll go,
impression
right, that's it, calm down, that's enough.
Yeah, because of how you are.
Yeah.
A lot of people they misread you sometimes, because
They
a
do.
lot of people could here. I wouldn't like to do anything in that Victoria one. 'Cause she
Will not
would
tackle her.
No, it's true. If you need somebody in your corner, or need somebody like like say somebody was nasty to you, and you have to phone up to get like something
Backup.
fixed or whatever, and you want somebody to phone this person to get them to do whatever you need them to do. She's the person.
Yeah.
You know, or if you go into a shop and they won't give you a refund, send Vicky and she'll get the refund for you. Are you that person?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, you see, that's Victoria. But so I think a lot of people have the wrong impression when they meet her, and they will say to me, "Here, she's lovely, but I wouldn't like to get on the wrong side of her,"
And
which is true to a certain degree.
well, it is, but you know, at the same time, I'm probably one of the more kinder people in life.
You are, yeah,
And probably
definitely.
the most loyal as well.
You are. But then you're like me in that sense, because I feel that if I take someone in as a friend, I'm their friend.
Yes.
Like if I befriend you, like I'm your friend, and I expect you to be my friend. And the thing about it is that this sounds a wee bit stalkerish. That sounds so
No,
stalkerish.
not at all. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, to me, it has to be sort of like for like and
it's
reciprocated.
mutual,
Whereas
yeah.
you know, like I'm your friend, and I will have your back, and I will defend you, and I will, if you need something, even if I don't have it, I'll go and get it from somewhere. If you ask me for money and you really needed it, I didn't have it, I'll go and get it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
By whatever means, because you need it. That's the type of friend I am. That's the type of friend she is.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Isn't it great to have
That's
friends
lovely.
like that,
It
Cheryl?
is.
Do you
Lovely.
have women groups?
I
of
don't.
women?
I do have really good friends, and one of my friends lives, you know, a couple hours away from me, and I know I could pick up the phone, and she'd help me move house tomorrow. You know,
love it.
one
And
of
you
those
don't
people.
have to speak to them every day either.
And we
You know,
don't.
yeah.
And we
No.
don't.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, I trust my friends. The friends I have, I trust them, and they can trust me.
It's so
and
important,
and
isn't
I
it?
think with having a young daughter, that's not so. It's not really there anymore.
Yeah.
You know, the
Listen,
young girls
absolutely.
don't really have each other's backs anymore. They're trying to be good. I think they have to be friends with loads of people.
Yes.
So therefore they get a bit confused as
Yeah.
to what loyalty actually
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And their loyalty is only to the person they're with at the time.
At that
Yeah.
time.
Isn't that right?
That is, and
It's exactly it.
it is, or what I've found too is that the one that they're getting the most from,
Yes.
the one that can offer them the most,
Uh-huh.
whether that's, you know, oh, she's got 10,000 followers on TikTok, we'll stay with her.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are, or, you know, maybe her mum and dad have got a villa in the south of France, you know, we're going with her. There is no loyalty.
No,
in
there's no
anybody
loyalty, and it's
anymore.
disappointing
It's
because I think us girls need friends. We are chatters. We love to chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you need the friends that you can actually, like we were talking about our other half, Cheryl, you and I, and you know, I need to be able to have a good moan about my other half, but the person I'm moaning to,
exactly.
not judge them.
Exactly.
I know that it's just me offloading.
100%.
My wife also needs someone that she needs friends that she does have, that she can offload to, and they'll not judge me because
Exactly.
they know she's just offload. And you know, it's really important to be able to have that. You know, and as you just said, like you don't have to have. You have a small group of friends.
Yep.
I'm just lucky, I think, because of my wife, the person she is, and so the friends she had became my friends, and the friends I had became her friends. So that's how our friendship circle it's different, I think, if you're in a relationship. So if I was my husband, I wouldn't be as friendly with his friendship circle, but because we're two women, I think it opened up the whole.
Yeah, it does.
So our friendship circles, and only really as I got older did my friendship circles grow a bit more.
Where mine shrunk.
Yeah, I think as I got older, I became more open and open to other people, where when I was younger I was a lot more closed in and a lot more protective of myself.
But you are not the same person. I mean, the person...
No.
And I don't mean... No, on a personal level,
Yeah.
me and you are exactly the person that you always were.
Yeah.
But you have grown so much. Like, your personality, you know, you're more outgoing. You're, you know, somewhere there was that thing of being like, right, hold on a minute. I'm not going to hide away. I'm not going to shrink back here. I'm just going to go and do.
And I think that came with the end of my first marriage and being almost 30 years of age and thinking, oh my God, I have to start over again.
Yeah,
and
it is a panic.
I can understand. Obviously, I was younger.
Yeah.
But at that stage in my life, you know, I was late 28 or 29, and thinking of going into my 30s and having to start over again. So that was daunting for me.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what it would be like. That's why I think I sort of resigned myself to the fact that if anything ever did happen, that Karen wasn't here, you know, when I was on my own, that I would just stay on my own because I couldn't
I'll
imagine
look after
it.
you anyway.
Yeah, we'll just move in together and become two spinsters.
And the same if it's the other way round. I'm going to end up
cats.
have to looking after
She's
Karen.
going to be two spinsters with cats.
I'll just have loads of them.
And my two wee dogs are just the size of cats.
They are.
Actually, they're smaller
perfect.
than cats. So yeah, I think that came with you're saying I sort of changed and became. I think I sort of just became comfortable with the fact that I am who I am, and if people don't like me, like I said earlier, that's not my fault or my issue. That's their issue. And as long as I live my true authentic self, I hear this all the time. This sounds so cringy and cheesy. But I feel as long as I live true to myself, so I know that I'm being the best person that I can be. I'm being kind. I'm not being mean. And my heart is, if I say anything or do anything, that it's coming from a good place. And anything I do, I don't do it with malice. You know, my intention for anything I say or do never comes with malice. Now, years ago when I was younger, and we all can think back, you're like, now I'm going to get them back, and I'm going to say this to hurt them.
Yeah.
Now I choose my words and try not. I'm not the best, and don't get me wrong, I'm not an angel, I'm not a saint, but I do think a bit more about words that I use and things that I say. So I don't use words to wound someone now. Where years ago it was a defensive thing, where you would have said something back to hurt the person as much as they hurt you.
Yeah.
I think that just comes with a bit of maturity,
It
a bit
is
of age,
maturity.
a bit of experience.
It is.
It is maturity.
That
That slips sometimes.
it does.
Listen
It
to us
does.
all sitting here thinking,
quite
oh, we're just so
frequently.
great. And then
No,
every now and again you're like,
absolutely not.
oh, let it rip.
No, yeah. And absolutely, I have.
Just keeping it real. We're not,
Yeah.
you know, you might not be where you thought you'd be, Victoria, but you're
No.
exactly where you're meant to be.
Well, that's
That's
it.
it, isn't it?
But it is a panic. Like, I'm not panicked to be on my own because, as I said, that doesn't bother me.
Do you want your number give out or anything?
No.
Okay,
Have you any pictures to put up?
But there
Thank
is
you for that message.
that wee bit of a panic though when you get older and you're on your own and you think, right, nobody's
loads of time.
going to want me. I've got old, I've got fat, you know, my back's bad. I'm retired from work. I've been on a pension from I was 40 because my back's that bad. And you just think, what do I have to offer? And I think those 5 years, took quite unwell in those 5 years. And I think a lot of it was that panic. And then it took me 3 years to kind of build myself back together again, to be like, right, hold on, actually you do have a lot to offer.
Well, listen, here's the thing. Don't ever allow yourself to become invisible. You are important. You are worthy of being loved. And I think if you go out there thinking, hey, I am important, I am worthy of being loved, I'm a great friend, I'm a great person, and I'm going to meet somebody, you're going to meet somebody.
Yeah.
It's just build yourself up. I think you're underestimating how attractive you are.
She does. She absolutely does.
You're very personable. You know, you've a lot to offer.
She does.
You're going to find somebody. If all else fails, you can give her number out, can't you?
Yeah, we'll get you set up. No, Cheryl, that's exactly the person she is. You know, she does underestimate herself far too much. You know, and I think sometimes Vicky hides.
Don't become
behind-
invisible.
She does.
Step into the limelight.
She does make herself invisible sometimes, and I feel sometimes that she purposely doesn't make the most of herself. Like the other day, she was telling you about the other day on the phone. You should FaceTime me the other day, and I just went to her, please, no matter what you do, if you don't do anything else, can you please dye your roots tomorrow? Because, you know, that's not her. You know, she's not that person. She's the person always looks after herself. And she said, I'm thinking about just going grey. And I just feel that you're just too young to go grey, right now.
The sun shines in everybody, including you. Remember that.
There you go. I want to read something actually that I screenshotted this from an influencer that I follow, but it's so poignant, and I thought about today, and I thought, and I hope you don't mind, but I screenshot it to read it out, and it says, sometimes the best thing that ever happens to you is the thing that didn't work out. The job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, or the plan that fell apart right when you thought everything was coming together. At the time, it feels like a failure. Life is against you, but often it's redirection. We rarely see it in the moment, but rejection can be a form of guidance, because sometimes what feels like falling apart is simply life rearranging itself so something far greater can fall into place. Truth is, some of your greatest blessings will only reveal themselves in hindsight. The failure that taught you resilience, the heartbreak that taught you self-worth, and the redirection that led you to the path you were always meant to walk.
Is that
That's
Abigail?
lovely.
Simon Alexander, that was written by, that was shared by an influencer whose marriage has just recently, not recently, but has broke up, but it has been recently announced.
Right.
And I think she's getting a lot of flack because she's, recently she went to Vegas and to celebrate her friend's birthday, because she looks like she's enjoying herself, which she is, but her marriage has actually been over for a long time, and her husband are still friends.
Yeah.
They've just decided, he has addiction issues, and they just decided to that they needed to part ways, you know. And I think she's getting a lot of flack, and
People are always going to judge.
people will
Especially
always.
the women.
You can be, look, it's okay to be the victim of
Us
somebody's...
women
yeah.
sometimes are the hardest, not only on ourselves, but
Villain, I mean.
we're hard on other people.
Yeah.
But you can't, you know, you can be the villain in somebody else's story.
Yes.
It's okay to be the villain in
Yeah.
their story, as long as you're true to yourself.
That's it.
You know,
Yeah.
the truth, you'll be fine.
So the message I couldn't read there, because it sort of hit me a wee bit, it made me emotional, was from a friend who I haven't seen for a long time, and we were actually really close at one stage, and she said, I'm just listening to your show, I'll always have your back.
See, how lovely is that?
That is lovely.
Isn't it?
Because I'm menopausal, I'm very emotional. But that's
You need a patch.
that's not why I'm thinking. But the thing about it, it's just lovely to have a message like that from someone that I haven't seen or spoken to in a long time.
Yeah.
And to think that the friendship isn't, in my head, isn't what it was.
Yeah.
And for certain reasons. And then to find out that person still feels that way.
Yeah.
So anyway, shake it off and move on. Thank you so much for that message, and I will reach out to you after the show. I'm going to play a wee song. Girls, would you believe that it's 14 minutes past 2? So what we'll do is we'll play this song and we'll come back, and then we'll wave goodbye to you, Cheryl, that you get back up the road. I so much appreciate the distance that you've travelled
Not at
today
all.
and for battling the traffic. It's been you've been a ray of sunshine, obviously.
Oh, thanks.
And honestly, in all honesty, I was so excited about you coming today. I really was. And I'm so pleased that you've met all my expectations of the person that I thought you were on TikTok.
Oh, that's
you
good.
are in real life. So I'm going to play this song. It's called Take My Breath Away, Berlin. And we'll come back after this and say our goodbyes to Cheryl. Cheryl Bakes on TikTok.
You on TikTok now? No.
We're live. I can't even tell you what that woman just said.
He's like, oh, very good.
That is hilarious. I actually was just saying in the break,
brilliant.
Cheryl, honest to God, you just give me life. We were just saying, I was just saying in the break, like I'm a bit ashamed to admit this, but my nephew was in my car. My nephew really thinks, I'm God's gift. He thinks both his aunties, I was saying to you, he thinks we're multimillionaires, and we were in the car going through the drive-through at Starbucks and at Conswater, and there was that craze that was going all over the social media where you paid for the people's coffees behind you, and I thought, well, I'll pay for their coffees behind me. And so I said to the girl, just take for that car behind. And she went, are you sure? And I went, yes. And she never told me how much it was. My nephew was like, are you paying for people's coffees behind? I said, yes. And he went, that's so kind of you. And I went, he said, I can't believe you're doing that for strangers. So I was like, yeah, I was literally doing it for the kudos. So this just goes to show you, don't do things with that kind of heart, because this is what happened to me. The ding came up on my phone So my order was £9 for mine and my nephew's order, and the ding came up on my phone, £56, 47 quid behind me. I nearly choked. And my nephew I didn't say how much it was to him, obviously, but here.
Oh, I would have.
He was so impressed.
So I trawled the social media that night looking for somebody's grateful post to say thank you to the kind person in the purple Jeep in front of me. Nobody posted, and I was raging. I thought, I'm never doing that again.
They'll maybe hear this now.
Yeah.
And conscience will be pricked.
So we were just saying, and what brought that up was a kind person in the car park today.
Yes.
You didn't have change, and they just gave you the money, the pound for
They
the
did.
car park.
How nice is that?
It was. And it was, because I said, oh, excuse me, do you have change of a tenner? And she was like, no, what is it you need? And I said, oh, it's okay. And she goes, look, I have £1. And that's all she had in her pocket.
Yeah.
And she goes, take that. And so therefore I'm here.
Yeah.
And I wasn't late. I didn't have to run about like a mad woman looking for change because of that lovely woman in the car park.
That isn't that just lovely?
It is lovely.
It's just, that's
It was
what
only
I
a
like.
quid,
Yeah.
but it meant the world to me. And
Yes.
it stopped me from being late. So little did she
getting
realise.
flustered.
I was getting flustered.
Yeah.
I was beside myself. I thought I was lost, as I told you. And it meant I got to be here on time. I wasn't flustered anymore. And her £1 made a difference to the start of this interview.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nice of that lady to do that.
It is just. I think I need to be a bit more mindful of things. I try to be, but I'm the type of person, if I go past a homeless person, I'll empty my whole purse into their lap. Yeah, I can't. I just can't.
No, I'm not very
years
good
ago,
at that.
Years ago, when I went to church, I don't go to church anymore. When I went to church years ago, I used to go to church 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I'd be in church if I could. And I went to I went to this Bible conference thing in Hillsborough, and I was in the tent. It was in a big tent in some farmer's field. And I was that enamoured and taken by the preacher who was saying, you need to give everything to God and all this here. And I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm definitely not, but I literally, and I was on my own at the time, I literally gave my everything that was in my purse, everything I had, to the point where I couldn't even buy electricity to put into my meter or gas for the house for the week.
Did you
That's
have
the type of person I am.
Did you find something else happened good after that?
I
Like
can't
some
actually
form of
remember,
blessing?
so probably not.
Oh right, because
No, because she was starving. She had no money
Starving,
left.
no gas, no electricity. It may well have done, or like we just read that wee statement there. Sometimes these are things to redirect your life. So my redirection of life was stop giving your money away.
See, there was a blessing.
I'm just so easily swayed. Honestly, I'm so terrible. Like if someone's doing a sponsored something,
Yeah.
I'm the person, like.
Gives a tenner and starts the list off that we all hate.
Yeah.
Because we were only doing a pound.
Because I was thinking 2 quid's enough. And then you look up and you go,
Tenner, why'd she give a tenner and fronted?
I'm that person. I am that person. It's not for any reason other than the fact is I feel like I have to. I feel like that, I'll help them as much as I can.
yeah.
No matter what the detriment is to me.
Yeah.
Do you
Stupidly.
girlies like charity shops? Because that's another big
Love
thing
a
I have
charity
on
shop.
TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah. I am massive on the charity shops.
I love a good charity shop, Hook.
See, I think I just, there's a charity shop down near us in Carrick, the hospice on the high street. And I mean, it is, the manager who runs that place has not got leave of her senses and is charging ridiculous prices. I mean, it is good value. You're going
Is
in
it?
and you're picking up things like for a few quid, the way it used to be years ago. And she just has great ideas. And I love going into that charity shop.
Oh, that's
From
a wee,
anything
that's a wee
from
day trip,
a
Victor.
Kenwood
Day
mixer,
trip.
you will
Yeah.
love it. And then take yourself up to Oni's, the wee bar.
Yes, I like Oni's.
Oni's is lovely, and get yourself some nice lunch.
So
Give me a
nice.
wee bell and I'll come over to Oni's and join you.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yes.
We'll be there next week.
Oh, that's good.
I'll be driving around Carrick trying to find your house.
And the red
Looking
brick
for a
one.
bulb.
You got the soda bread ready? I love a good soda bread. And you make soda bread.
I
don't
do.
you?
I am going to have to go, girls,
Yes.
because I don't want that traffic
gonna-
warden to
I'm
get
gonna
me,
stick a
because the
wee
woman
song
did
on.
only give me £1.
Yep. Well, listen, I'm going to stick Super Trooper on because that's exactly what you are, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Super Trooper. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you to anybody who
Shoot.
listened from the followers on TikTok. I appreciate it.
And I know they did. And thank you so much as well for all your lovely messages. And I will say goodbye here to Cheryl. And this is Super Trooper, ABBA.
Bye, everyone.
There you go. That was ABBA and Super trooper. And we've said goodbye now to Cheryl. And you're left with the two of us, two retrobates.
Two retrobates.
So you're listening to Let's Do Brunch with Alex J. And there's still time to get involved in conversation. It's 077 561 61456. And the best way to do that is WhatsApp. So it's 077 561 61456. You're sitting with myself, Alex J, and my good friend Victoria. We've had the lovely Cheryl Bakes. Now, honestly, she's gone here. And I would just like to say she is everything. I thought and hoped she would be.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people on social media, and you would sort of think, are they really like that?
No, but she really, really just is.
She's just so genuine.
Yeah.
Very wise lady as well.
Yes.
But I imagine she should be wise because she's just great at cooking and great at baking. And I feel like she should have...
She's like a proper adult. Yeah. Like, I still don't feel like a proper adult.
She's not that much older than us, and yet I felt like you kind of feel like she's got the wisdom of like a mum or a granny, you know, because obviously she's lived a life and what she does. I have a lot of admiration for her, actually. Yeah. And I'm also like quite keen to show you the videos of her house. She's renovated a beautiful house in Carrickfergus.
Right.
Like, it is just stunning. And she's put me videos of, like, at the beginning of her TikTok, so you have to go right down to the very beginning. You can see it's just photos, it's not actual videos. It's a wee photo sort of flick thing.
Seeing it develop.
And it just, you know, the things that she changed and things that she did. It's real, honestly. And she's literally, the ocean's right in front of her, you know. But yeah, she's such she does really just have loads of wisdom. Yeah. And some of the things she was saying there, I was actually going, I'm a bad adult. I'm a really bad adult. I'm really rubbish at this adult and stuff. Yeah. I think I'm wise, but I'm actually...
No.
When you listen to other people who have really good advice, you know.
I don't think I've ever managed to give too much good advice, to be fair. I still don't.
You do give great advice.
Do you think so?
Like I would ring you for advice on, like, what do you think about this? Like, I ring you to give off about something. Like, so I let off steam, and then you go to me, I know, but do you not think? And then you'll either talk a bit of sense into me or you'll go, no, right, I'm putting the shovel in the car, let's go.
Let's go.
You know, that's the kind of girl talk we have. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think you do have good advice. Mm-hmm. So you do.
I must have asked Keely first, and she's told me what to say. She's the responsible adult.
I like to think I have good advice.
You do.
Yeah, but for other people, sometimes not for myself.
No, but I don't think anybody has good advice for themselves, because it's easier to give other people advice.
I suppose as well it is easier in any situation when you're standing on the outside looking in. Yeah. Because you have perspective. Yeah. Where I think a lot of the times we're in situations and we're responding as to how our emotions are as opposed to the rational side of it. You know, I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Mm. How have you found today?
It's been great. It's lovely.
It's just like sitting in our caravans having a wee natter, isn't it?
That's exactly what it's like. Isn't it? You could actually just take the show down there.
Well, saying that
from the summer.
Saying that over the summer, I've asked the bosses, is it okay? And they've okayed it. So, yeah, I'll not do every show over the summer from down there, but I'll do the odd one. I think it'll be
by the sea.
Yeah, and there are some super women down on the caravan site, so I have some really great friends down there, and so do you. But really good super women down there, so you might make another appearance on the show. You know, you never know. Yeah. Because I'll be at the car.
Obviously, everybody's going to be like on the edge of their seats here, wanting to know what happens to this. You know, almost 50 single person. Is she ever?
Yeah, I think we'll need an update. So I think what we'll do is we'll do. Let me see, where are we at now? We're end of February, end of March, into April, into May. So I think by June. So we'll give ourselves 3 months, 12 weeks.
Tell you what, you've got a lot more hope than what I do.
Well, I think to revisit where you are and how you're feeling in 3 months' time. Yeah. You know, like, I think even because your last relationship is pretty recently. Yes. You know, it's a pretty recent thing. Yeah. I think, you know, you need to give yourself a bit of time, just to give your time for yourself.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
yeah.
but I know you're looking forward and you're thinking, you know, you don't want to be on your own.
No.
You know, where some people like me, I particularly like the thought of,
thought
you know, not like the thought of being on my own. That sounds terrible, but you know, I'd be quite comfortable with being on my own. Or do you think when I get, if I
But
got
then
there,
I
when I
think
get there, no, if I got there, do you think I would feel differently?
I do, and it is okay for a while. You know, as I said, in that 5-year stretch, at first it was like, this is what I want. And then it was, this is what I need. And then it was, right, I don't want this anymore. This is, you know, this is not for me. I need, not want, I don't know, need, want, whatever it is, you know. But it is okay. But I'm not a lonely person because I quite like to be on my own, as everybody knows.
Like I do, yes.
Like I'm quite happy to just, I'm not a person that needs somebody to go shopping with me or, you know, do whatever. I'm quite happy to be by myself and potter about my house and talk to my animals like my children. And
see, I'm quite happy. I'm like you. I'm quite happy to be on my own, as my wife gets off about sometimes, because
Yeah.
I literally will lock myself away in a room.
Yeah.
If I've got stuff, like when I'm working on stuff for the show, you know, because I've got, actually coming up next month, we've got some big,
yeah.
hard hitting, heavy
Yes.
weighted shows. You know, not every show's going to be like that, but I've got some pretty heavy ones coming up. So I've had to really do a lot of research and a lot of, because I don't want to be involving myself in conversation or trying to involve other people in a conversation that I really don't know
Yeah.
anything about. So I've been locking myself away and doing research and organising stuff and doing that, and as well as that, obviously my job, my other job, which is for anybody who's just listened today, because I know we've got a lot of new listeners because Cheryl was here today. So I am a performer, so I sing and I do stand-up comedy, but mostly I sing. My band, 2 bands that I'm in, one is called the Diva Dolls and the other one is the Daisy Dukes, which is a country band. And we're all females, so it's all both are female lineups.
Very excellent.
And yeah, so we do that, and then obviously I perform as myself, Alex J. So for anybody that's your first time listening, so I think as well, when I'm working on shows and working on the creative side, I need to really shut down everything else around me, because I'm too easily distracted. I'm too easily pulled into other things. So if someone rings me with an issue or a problem, or tells me an idea that they've got, you know, I literally take away their idea, develop it for them, and bring it back and hand it to them.
Yeah.
And I need to stop doing that, because we all need to do our own stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's just you. That is just you.
Yeah, I'm not. I would be like that to interfere, but I would be that, to help. You know,
yeah.
But it's
because
not
even
always
whenever
a good
I'll
thing.
say things to you, you know, different things we've taught, and you're like, yeah, right. Well, listen, I'll sit down with you, and we'll do this, and we'll do that, and we'll get that up and running. You know, but that's just you.
Yeah. Sometimes I need to just not do that, because that can be seen as interfering. Like, other people don't take it the way it's meant either.
It's interfering.
Got a wee message from Ellie, who messaged earlier. She's a good friend of Cheryl's.
Yeah.
And she sent another wee message. I've only listened today because Cheryl is my friend, but I'll be tuning in every Thursday now from Devon or Spain. Ladies, what a fantastic show. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ellie. Do you know what? I love hearing from people who aren't from, because obviously we're based in Northern Ireland. We're in Lisburn, Co.Antrim. And it's so lovely. We are online, so the station goes out around the world. You know, like I said, we've got listeners in Africa and in Germany and things like that. And that's why sometimes I have to catch myself on, in terms of even the speed that I talk, because I have to realise that not everyone's going to understand, first of all, our accent.
Yeah.
And second of all, if I'm talking really quick, it makes it more difficult. So I do try and slow down my speech. Sometimes when I'm getting excited or talking about stuff, or we're getting into conversation and I'm getting very invested, I can race on, and then I'll get a wee text from my wife saying you're talking too fast. But it's good. So thank you so much, Ellie, for that message. It's so lovely to hear from you, and I'll look forward to hearing from you again on another show. But I definitely would love to have Cheryl back as well.
Yes.
As well yourself.
Yeah.
I think we could get a wee group podcast one of the days, like a wee one-off, and like a wee panel.
Yeah.
And I think Cheryl, yourself, and a couple of other super women that have been on here lately. And maybe Marcus, because Marcus is great.
Oh, yes, Marcus.
He's great. Portia de Monte, he is great for, he's got tips for everything.
He does. I was listening and I thought, why? I was like, all the stuff he's...
Yeah, because when I told some of my friends that Marcus does stuff to do with menopause,
Yeah.
the first, one of them especially, the first thing she said to me was, but he's a man.
Yeah.
What does he know about menopause? But actually,
a
lot.
More than I did.
Exactly.
Is the answer to that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just been, this job has been so good. I've actually learned so much in a short space of time.
Yeah. But he's a darling as well.
Yeah.
He is such a lovely guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And would you believe that this is their 4th show? This is my 4th show.
That's brilliant.
So, yes, we'll be back next week. We're still here for a wee bit, but we're back next week at the same time. Every Thursday, 12 midday until 3 p.m. every Thursday. Next week, I have the director, female director, Hilary Copeland from the Integrated Education Fund for Ireland. And I'm looking forward to chatting to Hilary, because we're talking about a different show every week. Obviously, we talk about different issues, but I'm very invested in how us as women, we're talking about women CEOs and stuff like that, and I'm just looking at the work-life balance and how we manage to do, like, if you're a parent, how are you parenting? Like, that's what I said to Cheryl. How should you do it? Because TikTok is social media in itself is a big job. And it is a job, but it's a big job, and it takes a lot of time, and you have to invest a lot of yourself as well as a lot of your time into it. And I just wonder, that was good when I said, because Cheryl, she's a foster parent, as well as all of the other things that she does.
You can understand why being here with her and speaking with her and seeing how she is, everything about her, she is a foster parent. She's
that
is
the personality for that.
Absolutely.
Because
it's not something everybody can do.
No, I don't know even. That's what we talked about this, even my wife and I talked about this even a long time ago. We first got together because I was in my 30s, and we talked about children, and because neither of us have children, and we talked about it, and I think my wife would have loved to have had children. And she would have loved to.
Karen would have loved kids.
She's great with children.
She's brilliant with kids.
But I think I was just too set my ways by that stage, and because of my career, I just feel that, and I still feel the same, that I don't have the patience to be a parent.
But you've been an amazing auntie, and you've been like amazing even with Noah. You're good with children.
Yeah, yes, and I love children, and I always learn something from them. They're just wee people.
They are.
And I just think, sometimes they're a fountain of knowledge, and, we don't give them enough credit, kids, I don't think, because we definitely can learn stuff from them. But I think for me, I just resided to the fact that in my head, I know that I like being a mummy figure. Because I love being the homemaker, and I love being that mummy figure.
Yeah.
But I just don't think, I think I'm happy just the way that I am. Yeah. No, I do.
But you have a great life.
Yeah, we do, but and mostly because we don't have kids.
But that's the bottom line. I mean, but you have a really good life. Plus, you have the boys.
Yes. Yes, but. No, I am feeling a bit, I will be honest, I am feeling it slightly as the boys are getting older, that we won't have them.
I know, but...
and I kind of feel what
we're
I'm talking
saying,
about, the empty nest thing.
Yeah.
Because I do kind of feel that they're getting further and further away from us. And even Ruben, who's 6, he and kids are growing up so fast nowadays. Yeah. I kind of feel that, there's going to come a day when we're going to be just... And I joke with them and I say, are you still going to have time for your old age aunties? Are you going to take us? Because I go, no, when you grow up, you have to take us shopping, and you have to take us out to dinner, all the way we take you out to dinner and we take you shopping, and they're all for it and all. But then as they get older, it's kind of like, are we just embarrassing them now?
Thought that was the whole point.
Because I'm the auntie that hangs out of my Karen is affronted by me some days, and you know what Karen's like, but she does be affronted. Like, I'm the auntie that hangs out of the car window singing at them as they're going up, or shouting at them as they're going up the.
But that's all right.
You know, they're schoolmates or coming down the road and they're walking with their friends trying to be really cool, and I'm hanging out going, hi, you know, giving it all really toot. You know, I'm that auntie.
But that's okay, because they'll remember that.
But in a good way, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or they'll just go, no, she embarrassed the life out of me.
No. That'll be looked back on fondly, and they'll go, do you remember she used to come pick us up from school and she'd have been singing and screaming out the window with us?
Oh, aye. And music full blast. Like, because all my nephews love music. All of them. You know, I've 5 nephews in total, as you know. But obviously 3 of them we see all of the time. But all of my nephews loved music as children, and even now they love music. And so that really, I think that was our bond.
Yes.
Was the fact that I love music, and Karen loves music too, but I'm the auntie in the car will turn the music full blast. So is she, I suppose. But I'm the auntie in the car will turn the music full blast and put all the windows down.
Yeah.
And we'll be singing at the top of our voices. You know, I'm the auntie that'll go into the shop and I don't care how much chocolate they get.
See, I'm that auntie too, but I was not that mummy.
Yeah. But then because you're handing them back, maybe?
Maybe it is. But do you know what? See, when it's, obviously I have a lot more time now. You know, whenever Keely was, especially Keely, when she was young, the way I worked, you know, and then when Noah was young, how I worked and stuff, you didn't have the time for that either, because you were just like, right, I have to get to work, I have to get them to school, I have to do this. There were so many things in life where I have all the time in the world now.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Mason, it's like, nothing's too much trouble, because I have all the time in the world and he is going home. And if I'm knackered, well then, that's fine. I can lie down and have one of my wee famous afternoon naps.
I love a wee disco nap.
I couldn't get through a day without one.
I love a wee disco nap. And you know, the thing about it is that some people go, oh, it'll ruin your night's sleep. But, you know, sometimes a wee power nap actually recharges you.
Yeah, it does.
For the rest of the day.
100%.
Sometimes when I'm going to work now, if I'm doing, not when I'm doing a double gig in a day, obviously, because I'm running from gig to gig, but on the weekends, like if I'm just out, say, on a Saturday night, there's nothing I love more than having a wee nap in the afternoon. And usually what I do is I have a wee bath early in the day.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a wee lie down to dry off. And do you know what actually I can fall asleep to? You know why people need white noise, or they need like whale noise or something? You know what I can fall asleep to? In the background, either the sound of Murder, She Wrote or the sound of Columbo.
That's it. Like,
why is like, I love
let's put on a murder documentary and relax ourselves.
Diagnosis Murder is another one. I can fall asleep to those.
Yeah.
I can also fall asleep to a good Western movie. So Cowboys from years ago, like Bonanza or something. And the other one is snooker or pool. Because my dad, on a Sunday afternoon, after the Sunday dinner, my dad had been watching the pool. Or snooker on TV, you know, Steve Davis and all. That's how far back I'm going. And, you know, what do you call him? Dennis Taylor with the upside down glasses.
Yes.
So I could fall asleep to that, the clicking of the
balls. Yeah. Well, snooker balls. Snooker
being played in the background.
Yes.
I could fall asleep to that. It's just something about it. I
can understand that. That is a relaxing noise, though.
Yeah.
That clink.
And maybe the Formula One. Oh, and horse racing. Actually, I can just fall asleep to anything.
That's me. Anything. Even my animals know that it's doze time. They all congregate round me. It's like a wee circle, and I get onto the sofa. Have a wee sofa nap.
Yeah, I'm going to revise that. I can actually fall asleep to anything.
Yeah.
On that note, we're talking about horse racing and falling asleep to horse racing. This is Lainey Wilson, Good Horses. There you go. And that was Lainey Wilson and Good Horses. Now, while we're just on that wee break there with Good Horses, I said goodbye to Victoria. I want to say a very big thank you to both the guests today for coming in to Let's Do Brunch. Cheryl from Cheryl Bakes on TikTok, and my good friend Victoria. I had a great afternoon this afternoon. I hope you have too, listening out there, and thank you for all your messages. Do you know what? It's a great feeling to know that people are listening and you're enjoying the conversation, and by the messages that I've been getting both here in the studio and to my social media pages. You've really enjoyed this afternoon. I have to say, you know, doing this, I'm so grateful to be able to do this every week, and I'm grateful to the station. And the station is set up for anybody that's just joined today and haven't been here before. We're set up 18 months ago, and it was for mental health and wellness. And so all of the presenters here in the station are voluntary. The boss is a great guy, and the station manager is a lovely person, and all the presenters are a great wee team. So I'm so grateful to be given the opportunity to be able to share my life and my friends and all the different, and talk about all the things and the issues that are affecting me today as a woman. So I am really appreciative of the fact that you're enjoying the show. So thank you so much. Now remember, Pulse Online Radio is on Facebook. We're on TikTok, Instagram, as is Let's Do Brunch. Let's Do Brunch is on all of those socials as well, including TikTok. And you can go and follow any of those pages. But give Pulse Online Radio a little follow on the socials and see all the different shows that are throughout the week. There are some great shows there. If you love music, my show is all about chat and chit chat, because you know I'll chat the hind legs of a donkey. But the other shows, a lot of the other shows, there's good chit chat on some of them, and some of the other ones are purely for the music. So if you love music, definitely Pulse Online Radio is the place to be. You're listening to Alex J with Let's Do Brunch, and I'm going to play this song for you now. This is Meatloaf, and I Would Do Anything for Love. Thank you so much to everybody who joined me today. Thank you so much. I'm going home with an armful of bakes from Cheryl Bakes on TikTok. I want to say thank you, a very special thank you to the guests today, because I've really enjoyed today, and I hope you have too. I will catch you back here next week, 12 p.m. Until 3. All right, listen, whatever you do, have a great weekend. I call today Tiny Friday because we're just on the run up to the weekend. You have a great weekend, and I'll catch you back next week again.